The Ballers are back in Colorado Springs. That's right. The Ballers visit the Rocky Mountain Vibes for the second time this season, and with that, Luke Short makes his return from injury. Good evening and welcome to Block Tickets Park in Colorado Springs, Colorado, as the Oakland Ballers visit the Rocky Mountain Vibes for the first game of a 6-game series. I'm Nevada Cohen, and you're listening to Oakland Baseball on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. The Ballers are on fire, winners of 11 straight. Tonight, a chance for the Ballers to get their second 12-game win streak of the season. Their first one was against Boise and these Rocky Mountain Vibes. So that's what's on the line in tonight's game. Before we get to starting lineups, it's time for the singing of the national anthem here in Colorado Springs. We do have an anthem singer, so let's let it rip. Now that was an awesome rendition of the Star-Spangled Banner before game one of this 6-game set here from Colorado Springs. Let's meet the Oakland Ballers, led by Aaron Miles in his second year. The Ballers at 56-16 on the year, 19-5 in the second half, are playing some great baseball. Tremaine Cobb Jr. is the shortstop leading off. Isai Santos, the right fielder, bats second. He's on a 6-game hit streak. Christian Almanza, the first baseman, franchise leader in RBI and home runs, bats third. Daniel Harris, the fourth, second baseman, cleaned up. He's had 4 straight 2-hit games. Jake Allgaier in the 5 spot. He's had a few 2-hit games in a row, and he's playing third base. Cam Buford, the DH, bats sixth. Buford, 7-game hit streak, 5 straight multi-hit games. He is well on his way to potentially the Pioneer League Player of the Week from last week. Davis Druick, the left fielder, bats 7th. Tyler Lozano is the catcher, batting 8th, and Darryl Buggs the second. The center fielder bats 9th. As for Rocky Mountain, they'll roll with Evan Kowalski. Kowalski Wednesday against Missoula in a 5-1 loss. Went 6 1/3, gave up 7 hits and 5 earned runs, and a couple bombs. Only struck out 1, but struck out a season-high 6 batters before that. On August 2nd in his prior start, a 4-3 loss to the Grand Junction Jackalopes. He went 7 in that game, also a season high. Kowalski, 6'2", 200-pound righty from Ocala, Florida, 26-year-old, comes to Rocky Mountain by way of Boise. He was waived in early June by the Hawks, signed by the Vibes, and this is his 7th start now in Rocky Mountain. 6.64 ERA, 0-2 record, 40 2/3 innings, 21 walks, 29 strikeouts. The defense in a moment for the Vibes as we get ready for first pitch. Vibes rolling with the home white uniforms. Vibes in fiery cursive script across the chest. All white uniform, both shirt and pants, with a navy blue cap with that marshmallow s'more logo, Toasty, on the cap. Ballers on the road going with their Oakland stands up black uniforms tonight. And Tremaine Cobb Jr., the righty, stands in. The first pitch of the series is inside, and we are underway at 6:35 p.m. local time. That's 5:35 back in the Bay. Thank you for tuning in on this Tuesday evening. Next pitch is low and away to Cobb. It's 2-0. Defense for the Vibes. In the outfield, left-right, Lynn Scott, Booth, and Clark. Infield from first to third, Toftelin, Garcia, Keeber, and Dooley, with Feliciano doing the catching. That's the one new name in that defense that the Ballers have not seen. 2-0 to Tremaine Cobb Jr. is high for a strike. 2-1. Just at the top of the zone at 87 from Kowalski. The crew chief and home plate umpire is Travis Schatzman. Pitch outside. It's 3-1 on Cobb. Just getting underway here from Colorado Springs. I am Nevada Cullen. Vince is back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. Thanks for tuning in, including those of you on YouTube. Hitters count, 3-1 pitch. And Cobb socks a line drive over short into left field. It's a leadoff knock for Trey here in Colorado Springs. Cobb, who was just 2 for 20 in the series last week against Yuba Sutter, is very happy to be hitting against, again, he's got 19 hits this year against Rocky Mountain. Rest of our umpiring crew, Scott Ginger down at first base, and at third base it is Zach Hart. We've seen some of these umpires before this season. Not, of course, in California, but elsewhere on the road. Here's Isai Santos batting from the left side. Takes a strike from the right. Kowalski on the outer edge. 0-1. No score. Top of the first. Here from Colorado Springs. Block Tickets Park, the home of the Rocky Mountain Vibes. You would think there would be mountains in the background, but that's not the case. As Santos hits one high in the sky to left center. Lynn Scott, he comes in and makes the catch for out number 1. No mountains in the view here at Block Tickets Park. Only the mountains above the giant video board out in left center. Now, instead of mountains, the little peaks from left to right field beyond the wall are suburban homes. Quite disappointing. Here's Christian Almanza in the top of the first. Runner on first is Cobb. No score. 1 out. The pitch from the righty, Kowalski, to the lefty, Almanza, is outside for ball 1. Almanza, 22nd and 23rd homers on Thursday and Friday against Yuba Sutter. He's now the franchise leader in long balls and RBI. Cobb, the runner at first. Kowalski, the righty, set at the belt. Looks his way, comes home, and Almanza takes a strike, outer half. 1-1. 87 just on the edge. Kowalski, not a hard-throwing righty by any means. And he's been throwing a lot of fastballs, painting the outer portion of the plate early in this game. Almanza swings and misses late on 87, 1-2. Another perfectly placed fastball on the outside edge. This is Kowalski's 4th appearance, 3rd start against the Ballers. Has a 9.82 ERA, 12 earned runs over 11 innings. He's given up 5 bombs to Oakland. He's ahead here of Almanza. The 1-2 is swung on and missed. That time, not the fastball. Instead, a breaking ball, maybe the slider tucked beneath the zone, and Almanza is Kowalski's first strikeout victim. No score, 2 outs. Top of the first. Cobb still stuck at first base. Here is Daniel Harris, the 4th, against Evan Kowalski. Harris on a 5-game hit streak. He has been seeing the ball quite well. First pitch, Harris, the righty, takes outside for a ball. The fastball, really, that caught the bottom of the zone, but called a ball 1-0. 87 at the base of the zone. That is not the way Travis Schatzman, the home plate umpire, saw it. 1-0 pitch. 1-1. Ballers come in on an 11-game win streak, 56-16. On the other hand, Rocky Mountain just snapped a 7-game losing streak with a win on Sunday at Missoula. They lost 5 of 6 to the Paddleheads. The Ballers just won 11 of 12 against their rivals, the High Wheelers, out of Kowalski to the righty Harris. Runner starts and stops. The pitch is inside. It's 2-1. Harris on a 5-game hit streak with 4 straight 2-hit games, including Friday against Yuba Sutter, in which he drove in a season-best 5 runs. He hit a 3-run homer in that game and another 3-run homer back on Wednesday. Harris takes outside. Good hold at the slider at 80 miles an hour. That one had far more bend than the previous breaking pitch from Kowalski, so that might be a different breaking pitch altogether. If it was the slider, the previous breaking ball he threw to strike out Almonte, it definitely had more slide this time to Harris, but Harris took it for ball 3. The 3-1. Harris fouls it off. 88-mile-an-hour fastball on the outside half. He tried to go the other way, but he fouled it towards the Coca-Cola courtyard. Block Tickets Park. Deep to left and right field, 350 each way, 410 to dead center to account for the elevation gain here in Colorado Springs. Payoff pitch with 2 outs. Runner goes, and Harris flies it to right field. Clark over towards the line. Looks like he does not have a play as it's into the Rocky Mountain bullpen. Ballers in the dugout to our left. Rocky Mountain assumes the first base side. Toasty makes his way up those stairs towards the Coca-Cola courtyard over towards right field. Toasty, the s'more mascot of the Rocky Mountain Vibes, with little flames protruding from the top of his head. That was 90, by the way, top of the zone from the righty Kowalski, who's looking to right the ship against the Ballers this season. Another payoff pitch is next. No score, top of the first. Cobb at first, he'll go. And Harris off the fist, dumps it into right field for a base hit. Cobb goes first to third, picked up by Clark out and right. And it's the second hit of the inning for Oakland. Danny Harris, 2-strike, full count, single into right field. That extends his hit streak to 6 games. Harris had a team best 23-game hit streak that ended here in Colorado Springs on July 5th. His team leading 92nd hit of the season brings up Jake Allgaier. A chance to get the Ballers on the board first with 2 outs in the top of the first. Ballers in Vibes, first of 6 games here from Colorado Springs. 13th game these two teams will play this season. Allgaier, switch hitter from the left side, takes a strike on the outer half at 87. A generous call from Travis Schatzman, but not that far off. It's 0-1. Runner at third is Cobb. He singled to lead off this inning. Then Harris dumped a 2-out single into right. Not really hard contact yet against Kowalski. 0-1 pitch. Allgaier takes high and away, 1-1. Allgaier's on a 3-game hit streak, all of which are 2-hit games. And then you flash back a week ago, he had a walk-off 2-run single against Yuba Sutter. His 20th game as a baller, he's hitting .319. He's driven in 7. 1-1 count. Kowalski comes home, and Allgaier rips it through the right side, just avoids Danny Harris, and Allgaier has a 2-out RBI single. Harris wheeling to third. The throw will be cut off and then dropped by Keeber, the shortstop. It is an RBI knock for Jake Allgaier, who extends his hit streak to 4 and drives in his 8th run of the season. Ballers 1, Vibes nothing, with 2 outs in the top of the first. The runners replace themselves at first and third. 3 singles in the inning for Oakland as they continue to hit well this season against Kowalski. Allgaier there got 87 middle in, and he sent it 102 off the bat into the 3-4 hole and into right field. And now here is a guy who has been scorching the ball at least 100 miles an hour basically every time he connects. Cam Buford swings and misses at a breaking ball. The slider high for strike 1. 2 outs, 1-0 Ballers. Top of the first inning. Harris at third, Allgaier at first. Cam Buford in the Yuba Sutter series only drove in 6. 0-1 pitch, slider away, 1-1. 67, that's right, he was 2 for every 3, 14 for 21 in all, a .667 average, and he slugged .1429. He had 9 extra base hits. 1-1 pitch. Buford takes high and away at 87. The fastball apparently just missed, and that is challenged by the Vibes, and that is a good early challenge in this game because they're correct. It was very much a strike high and away. So it's 1-2 instead of 2-1 on Buford. By the way, not that this is important to any of you, I don't think it would catch it on Flow Sports, but from where I'm sitting in the booth, a napkin has gotten caught in the netting between my view of the pitcher's face. 1-2 inside, runner goes, and Allgaier safe at second on a pitch that misses in. It's 2-2. Allgaier nabs his third stolen base of the season. 2 in scoring position with 2 outs for the Ballers. 1-0 Oakland, top of the first, 2 outs, and a 2-2 is next to Buford, as there is a napkin between my line of vision and Kowalski, the righty. 2-2 toss. Buford takes outside. 90-mile-an-hour fastball just off the dish, and the count is full. It's been a bit of a laborious first inning for Kowalski, who has thrown now 26 pitches. Buford trying to push his hit streak to 8 early in this game and driving a couple. But he strikes out on a good slider away from Kowalski. 2 strikeouts in the inning for Kowalski, and Buford strikes out with 2 in scoring position. When it's all said and done, it's a run on 3 hits and 2 left for Oakland in the first. Jake Allgaier drives in the first run of the game. It's 1-0 Oakland. Vibes coming up when you return on 860 AM The Answer. One nothing Ballers with a Jake Allgaier. First, Vibes coming up here in the bottom of the first. Let's run you through their lineup first of all. Carter Booth leads off. He's the center fielder. Kellum Clark, the right fielder, bats second. Sam Linscott, Hofflin, first baseman, cleans up. Gary Laura Gonzalez, the DH, bats fifth. Garrett Kieber, shortstop, in the sixth spot. Ty Dooley, third. Feliciano, one of the newest Vibes, the catcher, hits eighth, and Tristan Garcia is the second baseman, batting ninth. As for the Ballers on the mound today, it will be starting this game, but Luke Short making his return from injury. He has not pitched since July 19th at Glacier, when he went 2 1/3, gave up 3 hits and no runs, but exited with an oblique injury. And this is his first appearance in 2/3 inning scoreless streak that started with 2 very good outings against Rocky Mountain, in which he did not allow a run over 6 innings in both starts. Here he faces Carter Booth to start his day, and right-handed hitting Booth takes a strike somewhere near the outside corner. Yeah, that was very much on the edge, and well in the zone, actually, 0-1. Short, the lefty, 22 years old, from San Jose, California. September 2nd is his birthday, so he will turn 23 later on this season, as he misses low for ball 1. Short has a 3.58 ERA. He that have thrown at least 50 innings. That stat brought to you by Rocky Mountain Ethan Ibe. 1-1 swung on and missed, 1-2. Ethan Ibe, that is, the broadcaster for the Vibes. They're also a former Florida Gator, so Ethan and I are close friends, and I appreciate that stat. The 1-2 from Short, swung on and missed. Right back where he left off, Luke Short throws him a hook, 81 miles for out number 1 here in the bottom of the first inning. Ballers lead 1-0 with a run of support for Luke Short, who, by the way, today will only throw an inning or 2. His pitch count is 30. The Ballers will very slowly ease him back in. Zach St. Pierre will go in relief for Oakland for just the second time this season. First pitch hack, and a Kellum Clark, the left-handed hitter. It's 0-1. Luke Short, 3.58 ERA, 6-1 record, 10 starts, 50 and a third innings, 50 hits, 19 walks, and 58 strikeouts. The lefty's 0-1, and Clark, did he offer a low outside pitch? No, says Zach Dart down there at third, 1-1. Good pitch from Shorty. Actually, I said the hook. I take it back. It was actually the changeup with which he got Booth to strike out swinging. And now the 1-1 is just high for a ball, 2-1, 89-mile-an-hour fastball from Short. We'll go over the defense momentarily for Oakland as Kellum Clark bats. 0-for-3 with 2 strikeouts in his last game on Saturday at Missoula. 2-1 pitch. Clark, the lefty, takes in for a strike at 89. Great pitch right on the edge. Nicely painted on by Short, 2-2. Clark through 38 games, hitting .378. He's driven in 47 in that span. 2-2, breaking ball in there, strike 3 call. That's the hook. It's right over the heart of the plate, and Clark just frozen in place. 2 up, 2 strikeouts for Luke Short in his return from injury. Could not ask for a better start for Short. Defense for Oakland, left to right in the outfield, Druick, Buggs, and Santos. Infield from first to third, Alonzo, Harris, Cobb, and Allgaier. Lozano doing the catching for the lefty Short. Next, it's Sam Linscott. The righty takes outside for a strike, 0-1. Ballers lead 1-0 with 2 outs in the bottom of the first here from Colorado Springs. Not playing the Sky Sox, no. This is the Rocky Mountain. Ball back to the screen, 0-2. It was the Northern Colorado Owls that turned into the Colorado Springs Sky Sox this season. The Vibes are kind enough to host the Sky Sox this year after their departure from Northern Colorado. 0-2, Short looking to strike out the side. Can he do it in his first inning back from injury? In nearly a month, his pitch is fouled straight back. Wow, it's going to be really easy for me to get a foul ball if that's how they travel here at Block Tickets Park. If you can just loop it over that screen like so. Pretty far set back from the action. Feels like I'm far from the action. And that went into the stands just to my right. 0-2. Lined up the middle. Cobb on 3 hops. Scoops it on the short hop. Throws to first just in time for out number 3. Tremaine. A 1-2-3 first inning in his first action since July 19th. 1-0 Ballers heading to the second on 860 AM. The Answer. Start of 2 here from Colorado Springs, Block Tickets Park, the home of the Rocky Mountain Vibes. 13th game between the Ballers season, and the Ballers lead in game 13, 1-0, thanks to a Jake Allgaier RBI single in the first. Ballers will send 7, 8, and 9, Druick, Lozano, and Buggs up to face the righty Kowalski on this Tuesday. Have just owned this season series. They came in to Colorado Springs on July 1st and just started beating up on the Vibes at the end of the first half. They played 12 times in a row to end the first half. Ballers were first half champs, and the Vibes were out of the playoff picture not only for the first half, but their second half playoff chances took a hit as well because of that series. First pitch of the inning to Davis Druick is low and away from Kowalski. It's 1-0. Druick batting from the left side against the righty Kowalski. The 1-0 toss. And Druick takes low, 2-0. The Ballers just really the vibes. In Colorado Springs, the Ballers got their first waxing in their franchise's history. 2-0. Druick rips it right side. That's through. The fourth single through the first 2 innings for Oakland. Druick with the hit through the right side. Continuing to see his bat heat up. And he's aboard to start the second. Tyler Lozano is next. Who, in game 1 of the series against the Vibes in Colorado Springs, against Evan Kowalski, who went 3 that day, gave up 8 hits, 6 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, and just 1 homer. It was Lozano who took him deep in 6th. First pitch, runner goes. Lozano bounces it through the legs of Druick and into right field. Druick goes first to third on the funniest hit and run you'll ever see. Lozano hit it exactly should have hit it behind Druick with the second baseman Garcia going to cover second. That left a gaping hole on the right side of the infield. And Lozano adds the 5th single of the game for Oakland through the game's opening 2 inning. Not only did he hit it behind, he hit it directly under the legs of Druick, who, like a hurdler, jumped over the baseball on his way to second and then turned to third. And good news, that napkin has now nestled a little bit higher on the screen. First pitch to Bugs is a strike, 0-1. So now I can fully see the starting pitcher, Evan Kowalski. But yes, there's just one. Just at the top of the screen behind home plate. Really bothering me. 0-1 to Bugs with 2 on. And deep. Clark is there. Druick tagging. Catch is made. The throw home, not cut off, and Druick is safe. It's a sac fly for Darryl Bugs the second. The Ballers' lead is 2-0 here in the top of the second inning. Now 1 away. So Bugsy gets it done. He just took an outside breaking ball and hit it to right field. That's a good pitch from Kowalski. Probably the slider placed on the outside edge. But Bugs was able to get the bat to it, and Druick scores on the fly out to right field. So Bugs picks up his 20th RBI of the year, and that brings up the top of the order. Here's Tremaine Cobb Jr. Singled his first time against Kowalski. First pitch of this AB. Breaking ball off the plate outside to the righty Cobb, 1-0. Runner on first is Lozano. 2-0 Oakland on 5 singles through an inning and a third. Cobb ripped a single over short last time up, above the glove of Keeper, and he brushed back by a fastball at 86, 2-0. That was very high and tight, and Cobb had to twist out of the way. He digs back in from the right side, facing the right-handed pitch in Kowalski, who comes set at the chest, then the glove sinks to the belt. From the stretch, his 2-0 is perfectly placed on the outside corner at 87. The fastball makes it 2-1. Cobb, again, I mentioned it after his single. He was just 2 for 20 in the series against Yuba Setter last week. Good start to this series with a single his first time up. Takes a breaking ball high and tight, called a strike, just caught the high inside edge. That was a really good front door breaking ball. And the count is even at 2 apiece. Cobb calls time before climbing back in from the right side. Punches that tan-barreled bat down and then circles it around before readying himself for the 2-2 pitch. Kowalski's delivery is a breaking ball way too far inside. Tried to use the same method to freeze Cobb, but he missed in the count is full. Lozano the runner at first base with 1 out. Against the Rocky Mountain Vibes. Payoff pitch, 4 on the timer. Pitch is swatted to right field. High, foul, and out of play. Bullpen and into the stands beyond them off to right field. So it's 3-2 on Cobb, who against Rocky Mountain entering today was hitting .367. That's 18 for 49. 4 doubles and a homer. 5 multi-hit games. Can he add a 6th with a hit here? The payoff once more. Looks towards first. Spins and throws. Lozano easily safe. Tyler Lozano not going anywhere. His stolen bases this year, 2. Kowalski lifts and fires, and Cobb lines it towards second, over second into right field. Lozano heading towards third. Clark comes up firing. His throw is cut off. The throw back to first. Cobb is safe. And he does have his 6th multi-hit game of the year in 13 tries against the Rocky Mountain Vibes. Just phenomenal for Tremaine Cobb Jr. He is loving hitting against this team. So Lozano goes first to third. It's the 3rd time already in this game that Oakland has had runners at, well, it's the 2nd time in this inning. Yeah, I think it's the 4th time in this game the Ballers have had the runners at the corners. 1 out for Isai Santos, who takes strike 1, 87-mile-an-hour fastball in the outside corner. 2-0 Oakland leads, top of the 2nd inning. 1 out, runners on the corners for Oakland against Rocky Mountain's righty, Kowalski. 0-1 toss. A spin and a throw to first. Cobb is back safely. It looked almost like Kowalski was looking at second base, but there was no one to be found there. Lozano's at third, and Cobb is at first base. Cobb is third on the team with his 16 steals. Catcher Feliciano sets up outside for the 0-1. Cobb runs. The pitch is a ball. The throw is perfect, and Cobb is out by a country mile. Feliciano, don't really know much about his arm in terms of this season because runners before that throw were just 2 for 2 against, well, 2 for 3, or 3 for 3 against Duskar because Allgaier stole second earlier. Two outs and a runner on third for Santos. The 1-1 pitch. Isai fouls it off the mid of Feliciano, who comes to Rocky Mountain by way of Vega Alta, Puerto Rico, also the University of Northwestern Ohio, which is an NAIA school where he played for 2 years. 1-2 on Santos. The pitch. High and away, 2-2. Santos with a fly out to left field his first time up. The wind is gusting out to left field. So if you're a right-handed hitter, just get the ball in the air. For Santos, try to go the other way. That's what he did in the first inning, but he flew out. This time, he strikes out. He went around on the 2-2 pitch low. It was a very good breaking ball from Kowalski, who picks up his 3rd K. But Oakland adds 1 more. They get 3 more singles in the inning, 1 more run, and they strand just 1 because Feliciano caught Cobb stealing. We go to the bottom of the 2nd. It's Oakland 2, Rocky Mountain nothing on 860 AM. The Answer. On August 12th, 2025, that's today, the ball 2-0, bottom of the second. But what happened on this date in Oakland baseball history? Well, let's flash back. August 12th, 1996, Geronimo Baroa hits 3 homers in the A's 11-1 win over Minnesota, becoming the 10th player in history to have a pair of 3-homer games in the same season. He accounted for 5 of Oakland's runs. Mark McGwire accounted for 4 with a pair of homers to his credit. I have one more date I wanted to look at. That's from 2005. It's the first pitch of the inning from Luke Short is low, 1-0. Behind Dan Herron's 7 shutout innings on this day in Oakland baseball history in 2005, the A's ended Cleveland's 7-game win streak. Pitch is outside and low. It's 2-0 now as we refocus here on August 12, 2025. It is Luke Short's first start in less than a month, but close to a month. 2-0 pitch. The right-handed swinging Toughlin fouls it back, 2-1. Short, 15 2/3 scoreless innings. Exited in the 3rd inning against Glacier on July 19th with an oblique injury. 2-1 is fouled back by Toughlin, who is hitting a respectable .317 against Oakland this year, which is better than his season average of .296. 7 RBI, 3 doubles, a triple, and 2 homers against the Ballers this season. His 2 homers came in games 1 and 2 at Ramondi. 2-2 toss from Short. Ripped into center field. There's the first hit for Rocky Mountain. Dumped in by Toughlin, who went 2 for 4 on Sunday against Missoula with a couple doubles. He singles to start the bottom of the second here in Colorado Springs. Brings up Gary Laura Gonzalez. Laura the DH today. Laura Gonzalez, his full last name, 2 last names. He is of Hispanic, Apopka High School. First pitch to him, fouled to the right side, off of the fence, and then into the Rocky Mountain bullpen. It's 0-1. 2-0 Ballers lead. Nobody out. Runner on first is Toughlin in the bottom of the second. Laura Gonzalez, 61 games, hitting .320. Side and through, past a diving Allgaier, and that's back-to-back hits for the Vibes against Short here in the second, after he had retired his first 3. Short's pitch count at 20. Aaron Miles is stirring in that Oakland dugout as Zach St. Pierre gets ready to go. They'd prefer to give ZSP a clean inning, but Short's pitch count today is 30. So he's got 10 pitches to work with as the Ballers continue to get him ready for the postseason. That's really the goal for Shorty. Here's Garrett Kieber, the former Northern Colorado Owl, takes a looping breaking ball in for strike 1. Kieber batting from the right side against Short. 2-0 Ballers, bottom of the second, but nobody out, and 2 on for Kieber. The 0-1 toss. Kieber takes a strike, bottom of the zone, 0-2. Short 2 starts against Rocky Mountain Vibes. Went 6 innings in both, picked up wins in both, 8 total hits compared to 12 total strikeouts. His most recent start against Rocky Mountain was one of his best starts of the season. As the 0-2 comes in, and it's bounced towards the Oakland dugout. Nice grab made by James. Dugout, at least it looked like James. Still 0-2. But Short, on July 12th, in Oakland against Rocky Mountain in a 9-3 win, went 6 innings, just 2 hits allowed, a season low. No runs, 7 punch-outs. Another 0-2 to Kieber, the righty. Breaks in for strike 3. Beautiful curve from Luke Short, right down the middle. And Kieber just stared at it the whole way. Next up, it is Ty Dooley, who is a lefty. Oscar Feliciano on deck is a righty, and if this is the last bat Short with that pitch count at 24, I would not be surprised. Expect Zach St. Pierre to come in to face Feliciano. First pitch to Dooley is high, 1-0. He has not faced Oakland this season. He's a first-year pro, signed by the Vibes on July 14th. That was right after that final game of the lead. 2 on, 1 out. Bottom of the second. Short comes home and misses in the dirt with a breaking ball. It's 2-0 on Dooley, who has driven in 8 in 22 games for Rocky Mountain. Struggled in the series against Missoula on the road, went 1 for 19 with an 0 for 4 on Sunday. Toftlin and Laura Gonzalez are the runners. The 2-0. Top of the zone strike, 2-1. 27 pitches for Short. This is his last batter indeed. Zach St. Pierre looks on. He's ready to go. Only question is, will he come up in this inning? 2-1 is low, 3-1. If Dooley gets on or just records a normal out, then St. Pierre will come on in this inning. If Short could roll up a double play right here, then St. Pierre would just get the third. Hitters count here, though, for Dooley, it's 3-1. And Dooley takes a strike on the outside corner. Nicely placed, 88 at the bottom of the zone from Short, and the count is full. I think this pitch right here will determine how Luke Short feels mentally after his first start back from injury. The is hit towards third and foul, so maybe the next pitch. He has surpassed his pitch limit of 30, but of course we'll get a chance to finish this at bat. I think if he throws 35 pitches in the end, it's not a big deal. Again, a payoff pitch with 1 out and 2 on for the Vibes. The pitch to Dooley from Luke Short. Tall, and that is ball 4. And the bases are loaded, and that is it for Shorty, I think. Jim Diedrich is out to talk to his lefty to see how he's feeling, and probably just to buy time for St. Pierre. Rocky Mountain, as they trail the Ballers 2-0 here in the bottom of the second. Josker Feliciano is next, as Jim Diedrich, the former Major League pitcher and pitching coach for the Ballers in his second year, talks to Luke Short and Tyler Lozano. Again, his pitch count was 30. Now Jim Diedrich racing back to the Oakland dugout. And it looks like Short will stay to face Feliciano. Okay. Well, I guess you don't really want to put St. Pierre in this situation anyways. And if Short feels like going, let him. Feliciano takes a strike at the top of the zone. 0-1. That was 87, the fastball from Short. His pitch count now. Oh, I guess it's just at 31. Okay. So give him a couple more pitches here. That's lined up the middle. That's a base hit, and at least one scores. Bugs comes up throwing. His throw home offline. It's cut off by Almanza, and it's a game-tying 2-run single by Josker Feliciano. Looked like maybe Short could snag it. That low line drive just past the pitcher's glove, then bounced off the mound into center field, past Cobb and Harris, and it scores 2. Dooley moves to second on Josker Feliciano's 2-run single. We're tied at 2, and that is all for Luke Short in his pitch count was 30. He surpasses it and goes an inning and a third. He does not make it one time through the order. It will be Zach St. Pierre who will be the bulk reliever for today's game. We'll tell you about St. Pierre when you return. A 2-2 game in the bottom of the second with 2 on and 1 out. Vibes at the plate on 860 AM, The Answer. Luke Short was never going to pitch past the second inning. Unfortunately, Short cannot. He hits in a walk in the frame. His day is done. An inning and a third. 2 earned runs allowed thus far. He is responsible for Dooley, who he walked, and Feliciano at first. The positive sign, 3 on the day. That Short, I think I might have said St. Pierre. Luke Short in his start is now replaced by Zach St. Pierre. St. Pierre, the Ballers franchise record with 13, can certainly earn his 14th today. Wednesday against Yuba Setter, though, 4 1/3, 8 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned, and 5 strikeouts, so not his best stuff. The righty takes over with 2 on and 1 out. Here is the wide open stance lefty, Tristan Garcia. And he takes high and in. It's 1-0. Ballers and Vibes tied 2-2 in the bottom of the second inning. Garcia on the bags at second and first. St. Pierre looks towards second, comes home, and his pitch is drilled to right field. Over Santos and off the wall. It 2 hops the wall. 1 run is in. The stop sign at third base is booming RBI double by Tristan Garcia. It's a rude greeting for Zach St. Pierre, who is making his just second relief appearance this season. He threw a fastball middle in, and Garcia has now driven in 3 runs against Oakland, his second double against the Ballers. And it brings up the leadoff man, Carter Booth. 3-2 Vibes. Lead 1. 3-2 Rocky Mountain in the bottom of the second. The runners are at second and third for Booth, who struck out swinging his first time. First base is empty. 0-1 count, 1 out in the inning. Pitch from St. Pierre is in for, I think, a foul ball. I think it just caught the bat of Booth, and it's 0-2. St. Pierre will certainly take that as he looks to work out of trouble here in the second. Unfortunately for Short, he's now at 3 earned runs allowed in this inning. He is still responsible for Feliciano at third, but Garcia at second is St. Pierre's man. Booth, his 70th game of the year. He's driven in 45. 330 hitter. 0-2 pitch from St. Pierre is in the dirt. Only just bounces away from Lozano. It's 1-2. Good breaking ball there from St. Pierre. Just left it a bit short. A few loud at Block Tickets Park in Colorado Springs before this 1-2 pitch. And it's hit towards first. What a play by Almanza. Diving stop. He tags the square himself for out number 2 as a run scores. Feliciano comes home on that ground out by Booth. He picks up an RBI. It's 4-2 Vibes in the bottom of the second with 2 outs, but what a stop by Almanza. 95 off the bat of Booth. The right 91-mile-an-hour fastball tried to go inside out as well, but Almanza laid out towards the right field line, towards the first base line, snared it in his glove, came up onto his feet, and ran to first for the out. First pitch, a strike to Kellen Clark, 0-1. Almanza with a web jump to save a run from scoring. Run does score, yes, on the play, Feliciano, but Garcia now at third with 2 outs. The 0-1 is low. It's 1-1. If Almanza does not make that play, if it gets past him, then not only is there just 1 out in the inning, but Garcia scores on the play. Instead, he's still at third. It swung on and missed. Big changeup from St. Pierre. A lot of drop on that thing. And he has Clark 1-2. Clark, who struck out looking his first time, stands in from the left side. St. Pierre from the stretch fires and misses low. Lozano stops it. 2-2. 4-2 Vibes. It's a 4 spot for Rocky Mountain in the bottom of the second. Their offense against Oakland this year has not been great, but they'll take what they can get. 4 hits in this inning, including Tiano and an RBI double by Garcia, who is at third. The 2-2. Clark just pounces on it foul. Rolls it over towards the Vibes. Even. Don't know what Darryl Buggs II was doing out there in center. Looked like he was bent down to tie his shoe, but he's back up. 2-2 pitch again. Lifted left field, but foul. Way out of play. There is a big berm out. Average berm. It's a bit overgrown. There's some trees on the far side of the berm. And it's a bit, you could tell there's some weeds and the grass isn't nicely put together. It's a fun contrast from Glacier's berm. 2-2 pitch. Outside, 3-2. A lot of seating here at Block Tickets Park. It's a big park. It's a bigger market, Colorado Springs. Vibes lead 4-2, 2 outs in the bottom of the second. Runner at third is Garcia. Payoff swung on and missed. Throws him a changeup and throws him a chair in the process. His first strikeout, and he leaves Garcia, who was his only runner, at third base. Unfortunately, Shorty's ERA's inning and a third, and the Ballers trail 4-2 heading to the third on 860 AM. The Answer. Hello to those of you on YouTube. We hopefully have the stream back. I have attempted to connect to my audio stream. What am I talking about? The Wi-Fi was not working, and so I've connected to my Wi-Fi hotspot on my phone, and we are hopefully back, and hopefully it is better. So I had to rejoin the stream, which is why there was no audio. Bottom of the third, Vibes lead the Ballers 4-2. Zach St. Pierre on in relief of Luke Short, whose final line looks like this: an inning and a third, 3 hits, 4 earned runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. Unfortunately for St. Pierre, he could not keep the game tied. He gave up an RBI double and an RBI ground out, and so the Vibes ended up getting 4 runs off of Short, none off of St. Pierre because Garcia, his runner with that RBI double, was stranded at third base in the bottom of the second. But near in the bottom of the third, St. Pierre will face Linscott, Tofflin, and Laura Gonzalez, 3, 4, and 5 in this lineup. Sam Linscott, right-handed batter, faces a righty in St. Pierre. To start this bottom of the third, Linscott grounded out to Short his first time up. First pitch of the inning is grounded towards third, foul, into the Oakland dugout. It's 0-1. It's also time for a quick Nevada's culinary curiosities here at Block Tickets Park in Colorado Springs. Today, chicken tenders and fries. 0-1 is low and in. It's 1-1. I think a good sign of how a ballpark's food will be is you just get one of the basic options. What is that? Oh, flown into right field. I thought that was on the field of play. Vince is out here playing music during a flyout. Thanks a lot, Vince. I thought that was, I was like, who in their right mind is playing this beautiful music during the action? This isn't a basketball game. Anyway, Linscott flies out into foul territory. So I guess that just makes me, that music makes me want to talk in a British accent. I had the chicken tenders and fries, and they were absolutely delightful. First pitch is inside to Tofflin for a ball. The fries were light and crisp with a nice seasoned salt on them. The tenders served with my heart's desire of condiments. Little nubber foul, 1-1. I went for the ranch and the barbecue sauce, and it was delightful. It absolutely scrans. And Block Tickets Park, I appreciate the wonderful food for Nevada's culinary curiosities. That was a terrible accent as the pitch is low, 2-1. My apologies to Dom, who I doubt is listening, member of the 68s from Liverpool. 2-1 pitch. Broken back, ground ball to third. Picked up by Allgaier. His throw is low, but caught by Almanza for the second out. Another snapped bat, this time by St. Pierre, and that one was very satisfying. The sound, the little click as the bat snapped in half. Tofflin grounds out 5-3. Here's Gary Laura Gonzalez with 2 outs in the top of the third. The Ballers trail the Vibes 4-2. First pitch low and away. It's 1-0 to Laura Gonzalez. He singled his first time up. That was against Luke Short. St. Pierre, the reliever today, usually a starter, fires in a pitch that is clubbed in the air, high and deep right center field. It is far. It is off the wall. And Bugs comes up firing. Wow, that just missed a home run. Gary Laura Gonzalez with his 4th double of the season against Oakland and 12th overall. That thing had snow on it. Again, it appears as if TrackMan is down. And so that is not good, at least on my end of things, as I am connected to This my laptop is connected to the internet via satellite, via my personal hotspot. First pitch outside to Garrett Kieber off the glove of Lozano, and it gets to the backstop. That could be ruled a wild pitch. It could also be a pass ball. I always lean wild pitch. But since that was off of Lozano's glove, it is ruled a pass ball, and I think that is sort of fair. So Gonzalez, Laura Gonzalez that is at third base with 2 outs in the bottom of the third, 4-2 vibes. The 1-0. Kieber takes in the dirt. Good stop this time by Lozano as Laura Gonzalez has to go back to third. Dan Silvert tuned in on YouTube. B- effort on the British accent for me. That's a very generous grade. I felt it was quite poor. 2-0. In there for a strike, 2-1. Laura Gonzalez with the 2-out double. He's at third base after a pass ball. Kieber a strikeout looking his first time up. Swings and pops one up into short right field. Santos went back, now comes in, makes the squeeze for out number 3. Laura Gonzalez is stranded at third base after his 2-out two-bagger. It's 4-2 vibes heading to the fourth on 860 AM. The Answer. Back here from Colorado Springs, it is a 4-2 lead for the Vibes over the Ballers because of a 4-run second in which the Vibes had 4 hits, including a 2-run double by Jessica Feliciano and an RBI double by Tristan Garcia. So we're a third of the way through. The Ballers trail the Vibes 4-2. Oh, apparently the beer batter is Tyler Lozano, but he singled his first time up. Let's see what happens the second time against Kowalski, who he has gone deep against this season. First pitch to Tilo is cracked foul into the screen, 0-1. Righty-righty battle here. Lozano against Kowalski, a single through the right side first time. And Lozano swings and misses. At a breaking ball, it's 0-2. And of course, if Lozano strikes out, it's either discounted or free beer for the Vibes fans here in Colorado Springs. I do not know which is the case. Way ahead, Kowalski, 0-2. Pitch to Lozano, low, 1-2. Very vast difference in the way these two pitchers work. Kowalski takes a while before coming home. St. Pierre is very quick. With 3 on the timer, Kowalski's pitch to Lozano is tapped to the left side. Tough play for Kieber. Backhands, throws on the run, way offline. Lozano with the infield hit. The beer batter is 2 for 2 in the game, his 8th multi-hit game of the season. Lozano's hit streak is 4. An infield hit there against Kowalski. The Ballers have 9 hits. I will repeat, they are all singles. Kowalski's doing a very good job of keeping the ball down. That is key here in Colorado Springs with that wind gusting out to left field, especially against right-handed batters like this one, Darryl Buggs. First pitch swinging, he lofts it into center field. It is in for a hit. Lozano with a great read. Booth made it seem like he was going to make the catch, holding that glove up chest high, but it fell in front of him, and Darryl Buggs has Oakland's 10th hit of the game through just 3 innings and change. But they're all singles, and the Ballers have 2 runs on their 10 hits. I mean, this is just the dam's got to break at some point, you're thinking. Here is Tremaine Cobb Jr. First pitch from Kowalski is low and away, 1-0. Ballers trail the Vibes in the top of the 4th. It's 4-2 Rocky Mountain. Cobb already has 2 hits in this game. Kowalski against Oakland has given up now 32 hits in 14 innings. 5 homers, but all singles today. 1-0 pitch, 8 on the timer. Kowalski comes home, and Cobb takes a strike. It's 1-1. Cobb with his 24th multi-hit game of the season. Hasn't had one of those in a while. He really struggled last series. 1-1. Cobb cuts and misses at a good slider. 1-2. I mean, you look through what Tremaine Cobb Jr.'s recent struggles have been. It's really the last 2 weeks he hasn't had a lot of success against Yuba Sutter. Understandable with their pitching staff. 3 on the timer, the 1-2 pitch. Cobb takes outside. It's 2-2. Cobb with runners in scoring position this season, hitting .282, which isn't great, but it's definitely gotten better. He doesn't have a lot of chances as the leadoff man to hit with runners on in scoring position. 2-2 pitch here with 2 on. Cobb takes a called third strike on the outside corner that is challenged.
Try to look at TrackMan through. It looks like it's working for Ethan Ibe. That's a confirmed strike on the outside corner. Show me where it is, Ethan. Show me.
I still have not gotten TrackMan to work for me since my outage of the Wi-Fi.
Show me.
5th strikeout for Kowalski as Cobb goes down looking, and Oakland is now 0 for 1 on challenges. Here's Isai Santos. He takes outside for a ball. It's 1-0. Ballers have to get hits with runners in scoring position today. They only have 1. That's Jake Allgaier. They've had many runners on. They've stranded 5 already in this game. They trail 4-2. Santos takes a strike on the outer half. It's 1-1. Santos 0 for 2 in this game, but on a 6-game hit streak. 2 on for him with 1 out in the top of the 4th. 4-2 Vibes. 4 on the timer. Kowalski, the righty, delivers, and Santos fouls it back 1-2. Oakland still seeking that big hit today. 10 hits, all singles. 3 hits in the 1st, 3 in the 2nd, 2 in the 3rd, 2 already in the 4th, with Lozano and Buggs the runners. 6 on the timer. 1-2 pitch from Kowalski. Santos fouls it back. He does stay alive. Still 1-2 on Isai, whose average has surged to .282 this season. He has driven in now 37. Drove in 11 last week against Yuba Sutter. Runner at second, Lozano. Buggs at first. Another 1-2 pitch from Kowalski. Santos takes off the plate. 2-2. Christian Almanza on deck. Santos is one of the only ballers today. Actually, the only baller without a hit against Kowalski. 2-2 toss. Santos takes. It's called a ball. An appeal to second. And Zach Dart says Santos did not go, so the count is full. It looked honestly like a strike to me. But it was not a strike, apparently. And the count is full on Isai Santos. with 2 ballers aboard. You know he's trying to tie this game or more. Payoff sent high to left field, over towards foul ground. Linscott running out of room, looks up, he's out of room, it's onto the berm. Isai has had some big at-bats lately. 3-homer game on Thursday against Yuba Sutter. Then there was the game-winning grand slam in the 9th. That was on the 1st of August. It's been a great month so far for Isai Santos. Again, 4 homers and 11 RBI against Yuba Sutter last week. Another payoff pitch. Santos takes in, and there is his patience shown to a T. His 36th walk of the year loads the bases. That's Kowalski's first walk. The bases are full for Christian Almanza. Not the situation that you'd like to be in if you're Kowalski. Don't see anybody coming out of that Rocky Mountain dugout to console Kowalski. Here we go. Christian Almanza, bases loaded. First pitch hack and misses. It is 0-1. Almanza hitting with a 4-2 Vibes lead in the top of the 4th. 1 out, bases loaded for Almanza. .330 hitter with runners in scoring position. 0-1 pitch from Kowalski. Almanza takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-2. The Ballers still seeking that big hit to finally get to Kowalski, who has really limited the damage today. Lozano, Bugs, and Santos the runners. 1 out, 4-2 Vibes, top of the 4th. 0-2. Almanza takes high and away, 1-2. The leader in both categories in franchise history for Oakland. 1-2. Catcher Feliciano set up outside, and Almanza swats it foul off to the left. He stays alive. It's 1-2. Pitch count for Kowalski near 80. The Ballers have basically made him, they're essentially bleeding him with 1,000 paper cuts. 10 singles, no extra base hits. 1-2 pitch. Almanza off the fist, plops one foul onto the berm in left field. If anyone was going to get an extra base hit, it might as well be Christian Almanza, who's slugging .641. 17 doubles, second on the team, 23 homers, most on the team. Hitting third today, 1 for 2 against Kowalski with a broken bat single last time up. Bases full, 1 out. 1-2, Kowalski from the windup fires, and Almanza fights it off one more time for good measure. Almanza against Rocky Mountain, 11 RBI, 4 bombs, including a 3rd inning homer against Kowalski in the last game these 2 teams played on July 13th. Ballers have 6 grand slams this year. Another 1-2 pitch. Almanza takes outside 2-2. The 6 grand slams for Oakland belong to Marcus Titiali'i, Danny Harris, Dylan Tatum, Isai Santos, Tyler Lozano, and Davis Druick. Can Christian Almanza etch his name in there with number 7? 2-2, Kowalski from the line. Deals. Almanza strikes out. Good pitch. Breaking ball. And Kowalski gets him for a second time. That's 6 punch-outs for Evan Kowalski. And for Kowalski, that is tied for his season high. You look at his last 3 starts, and he's kind of done exactly this. Limited damage. Now, albeit the last 2 starts, he went 7 and 6 1/3. That won't be the case today, as his pitch count is 83. But just 8 earned runs over those 2 starts, and only 2 today. Here's Danny Harris, bases loaded, takes high, checks his swing, did not offer. It's 1-0. Now, if anyone was going to come through with the bases loaded, it might as well be Danny Harris, who is 5 for 13, a .385 hitter with the bases loaded this season, with 1 grand slam. .1-0 is low and outside, 2-0. Ballers trailing 4-2. It's the top of the 4th inning against the Rocky Mountain Vibes. Game 1 of a 6-game set. And the Ballers, you could kind of feel the tension in the air. They need that big hit to start playing loose in this game. All they have are singles. 2 in this inning, plus a walk, have loaded the bases with 2 outs for Daniel Harris, the 4th. 1 for 2 in this game. Harris on 2-0, takes outside 3-0, nowhere to put him. And Jake Allgaier is on deck. Harris's grand slam was on the 20th of June against Glacier. That was the 2nd grand slam of the season for Oakland. 3-0 from Kowalski. Harris takes all the way and takes a strike down the middle. 3-1. It is a hitter's count for Danny Harris. Extended his hit streak to 6 with a single in the first. Couple 3-run bombs last week. 3-1. Harris pops it up on the infield. Tofflin over, running out of room, and it's out of play. Bounces into the stands about 5 rows up on the first base side and then into the Rocky Mountain dugout. So Harris catches a break there after he popped up the 3-1 pitch. Ball 4 would walk in a run. Kowalski has just 1 walk. It was Santos in this inning. A base hit from Danny here with Bugs running from second would probably tie this game. The runners are Lozano, Bugs, and Santos at first. Payoff pitch. Runners start. Harris swings and bounces it to second. 2 hops for Garcia. His throw to first is in time for out number 3. Ballers leave him loaded in the 4th and trail the Vibes 4-2 heading to the bottom of the 4th on 860 AM The Answer. It's been a head-scratching game here in Colorado Springs. The Vibes lead the Ballers 4-2, but the Vibes are being out-hit by the Ballers in this game 10-5. 10 hits for Oakland, but all singles, and they left them loaded in the bottom of the 4th, or at the top of the 4th inning. They got 2 hits in the frame, but could not score as Almanza struck out with the bases loaded and Harris grounded out. So here in the bottom of the 4th, it's still Zach St. Pierre hoping for his first clean inning of work today. Faces 7, 8, 9, Dooley, Feliciano, and Garcia. I'm Nevada Cullen. We've got Vince back in our 860 AM The Answer studios tonight. Thanks for tuning in. And the first pitch of the inning to Dooley, the lefty, is a strike, 0-1. Dooley walked and scored in the 2nd. 0-1. Chops it off himself, 0-2. He's just 22 years old from Elgin, South Carolina. Spent 3 years at Coastal Carolina. Was the starting shortstop for the Shots in the Men's College World Series this year. 0-2 pitch. I don't know where that missed. I guess it was high. It's 1-2. I know it looked high, but it also looked like a strike to me. 1-2 from St. Pierre, working quickly. Little check swing nubber down the 3rd baseline, actually kicked off the grass and worked its way a little bit towards fair territory and then stopped. So it's still 1-2 on Dooley. Hitting a respectable .306 so far through his first 22 professional games. 1-2 St. Pierre from the wind. Fly ball, left field foul, over towards the berm. A horde of young fans out there with some baseball gloves. They did not dive on each other for that foul ball. I've seen that before this season, especially in Kalispell. They were pests. 1-2, high and away, called a ball, 2-2. I mean, those kids were like leeches sticking to the foul balls that were hit on that berm. 2-2 toss outside from St. Pierre. It's 3-2. Dooley, once down 0-2, works it full. He has an impressive 16 walks in 23 games. And the payoff from St. Pierre. Swung on and missed. Beautiful changeup. One away. Second strikeout for St. Pierre, who is pitching today in relief of Luke Short, who is the opener today for Oakland. A pitch count of 30. Short ended up exiting in the second. St. Pierre entered in that frame. And St. Pierre will, honestly, at this point, with the Ballers trailing by 2, if this remains the case for a while in this game for whatever reason, I mean, St. Pierre could go the rest of this game. He's thrown what, 20, 30, let's call it 33 pitches now after a swing and miss from Feliciano. Nothing in one. No, 36 pitches now, my correction. Foul ball back to the screen, nothing in 2. Yeah, St. Pierre, can, after this inning, let's see. Final 5 innings of the game. Yeah, I could see him throwing some 50-odd pitches and just throwing the rest of the game, getting a. He would hopefully get the win in that case if the Ballers can start scoring. As of now, the loss would go to St. Pierre. 0-2. Oh, loss would go to Short, rather. Pitch inside, 1-2. Zach St. Pierre facing Joscar Feliciano for the first time. RBI single, 2 RBI knock up the middle last time for Feliciano off of Short as he takes low, 2-2. 4-2, Ballers trail. Vibes batting in the bottom of the 4th. 1 out, bases empty. 2-2 count. St. Pierre with 8 on the timer. Fires into the dirt. It's 3-2. Feliciano climbs back in from the right side. St. Pierre with another 3-2 count. Comes home. And this time walks Feliciano. First free pass from St. Pierre. Brings up the 9-hitter Tristan Garcia. Apparently walks here are sponsored by Tucano's Brazilian Grill. Wonder how their food is. Probably pretty good. I wouldn't mind some Tucano's for Nevada's culinary curiosities. Here's Tristan Garcia. Takes in and low, 1-0. St. Pierre's command not really sharp at the moment. Runner on first with 1 out for the Vibes in the bottom of the 4th. They lead 4-2. Garcia crouched low in his left-handed stance. Swings in, hits one high in the sky to right field, but Santos is right there. He got it off the end of the bat and flies out for the 2nd out. Carter Booth is next. Two outs in the inning. Runner on first is Feliciano. St. Pierre hoping to pitch his 2nd straight scoreless inning. With 2 outs, Booth hits one right back to him. Little chopper, he spears it, throws to first in time. St. Pierre smothering the baseball, then throwing to Almanza for out number 3. And just walks Feliciano in an otherwise clean bottom of the 4th inning. Let's go to the 5th. Ballers still looking for an extra base hit, trailing 4-2 with 10 singles on the day on 860 AM The Answer. Start of the 5th, the Ballers trail the Vibes 4-2. They've out-hit the Vibes 10-5, and they're losing by 2 because all those hits are singles. I'm Nevada Cullen. Vince in our 8:60 a.m. The Answer studios tonight. Thanks for tuning in on this Tuesday evening for Ballers Baseball as they open a 6-game set, their final 6 games with the Vibes this regular season. The opponents the Ballers have left, the Vibes, the Hawks, the High Wheelers, and then for the final week of the season, the first week of September, for the first time they will face the Great Falls Voyagers in 2025. They did face them at the end of the first half in 2024. Here's Jake Allgaier. He'll lead off here in the top of the 5th. Batting 5th tonight as the lefty takes outside for ball 1. 4-2 Ballers trail top of the 5th. Allgaier RBI single back in the first inning, and a bit of a stroke of genius from the Ballers coaching staff, Aaron Miles, James Harris specifically, as Allgaier rips one into center field. That'll be out number 1 as it backs up Booth, but he makes the catch. But Allgaier's single in the first inning, RBI single to put the Ballers on the board, only happens with Allgaier hitting 5th. If Allgaier is 6th, Buford has a chance to get that RBI single. Buford would strike out, though, hitting 6th. And that was actually a debate between Aaron Miles and James Harris before this game. And they said, you know what, let's give Allgaier the start in the 5 spot so that we can break up the run of righties with Harris and Buford. Here is Cam Buford, who promptly rips one up the middle for a base hit on the first pitch he sees. And that is Cam Buford's 6th consecutive game with at least 2 hits. Just ripped a single up the middle. He is on a tear. He's my pick. I'm a little biased for Pioneer League Hitter of the Week after hitting .667 in 5 games, 14 for 21 at the plate against Yuba Center. And he has another 2-hit game, his 28th of the season and his 6th in a row. Runner on first is Buford for Davis Druick, who's 1 for 2 today. Single and a fly out to center. He represents the tying run in the top of the 5th with 1 out. Wind gusting to left, and Druick takes low, 1-0. Kowalski, his pitch count at 93. This is his last inning of work. If that's not the case, my name is Casey Pratt. Don't know why. It's the first that came to mind. 1-0 just off the outside corner. It's 2-0. There's no action in the Vibes bullpen, so I believe the plan is for Kowalski to finish this inning, and he might very well do so. Of course, if the Ballers finally do get an extra base hit against him in this frame, that might not be the case. Pitch. Druick rips it back to the screen. 2-1. They're just missing, it feels like, the Ballers. They're looking for a pitch up. They're not getting the pitch up. Kowalski is throwing it down in the zone. 2-1 the count. Runner on first is Buford. Druick 1 for 2 today, standing in from the left side. 6 on the timer. Kowalski from the stretch, lifts the leg and fires, and Druick takes low, 3-1. Good hold there from Davis Druick. He's in a hitter's count now. Davis has driven in 52 this year. First-year pro out of Katy, Texas. Former D2 standout at St. Edwards. Teammates with Luke Short there for a couple years. The starter for today's game for Oakland. 3-1 pitch. Druick takes high, ball 4. That is the second walk of the game. Unsurprisingly, the only 2 walks yielded by Kowalski are to Santos and Druick. Druick, the team leader, with 45. And not far behind him, Santos in second with now 36. So again, here we are. The Ballers have 2 on, less than 2 outs. This has been the story of the game. They have not gotten hits with runners in scoring position, though. Here's Tilo. First pitch, Hack fouls it off to the right. 0-1. The Ballers trail 4-2 in the top of the 5th inning. We're almost halfway home here in Colorado Springs. A 4-2 lead for the Vibes. Lozano's 2 for 2 today. And if anyone's going to get a hit with runners in scoring position, will it be Tyler Lozano? .318 hitter with RISP this season. 0-1. Lozano taps it foul past Aaron Miles in the third base coach's box. It's 0-2. Kowalski's pitch count is 99. There is now action in the Vibes bullpen. After that walk to Druick. 2 on, Buford and Druick with 1 out in the top of the 5th. Kowalski against Lozano. Righty-righty battle. 0-2 pitch. Lozano fights it off on pitch 100 from Kowalski. 38 balls, 62 strikes. He's been good. He's limited the damage. Lozano against Kowalski. The first time these two faced in the 6th inning, hit a solo homer. Here we are in the 5th in Colorado Springs, the scene of the crime. 7 on the timer. Kowalski sinks to the belt. Fires. Lozano swats it down the right field line. It's fair. The extra base hit that Oakland needed. Scores Buford. Right behind him is Davis Druick being waved home. The throw home is not in time. Tyler Lozano with a game-tying 2-run double. Sprayed down the right field line. We're all knotted up at 4 on Oakland's first extra base hit of the ball game. A 3-hit game for Lozano, matching his season high as he continues to hit well against Evan Kowalski. A homer on the 1st of July, and here on the 12th of August, 2 singles and a 2-run double. At long last, Oakland has an extra base hit. 12 hits, 11 singles. Here is Darryl Buggs. Lozano dancing at second. Buggs rips one high to left center field. This was off the end of the bat. Booth is there. Makes the catch in left center. Lozano starts and stops, and he stays at second base. Buggs flies out. He got a lot less of it than I thought he did upon first glance. But the Ballers still have tied it with that 2-run double by Lozano down the right field line off of Kowalski, who has now thrown 102 pitches. But they're still going to give him a chance to finish this 5th inning. Can he exit with this game tied? He faces Tremaine Cobb Jr. here with Lozano at second. 2 outs, first pitch. Cobb takes a breaking ball in for strike 1. Cobb is 2 for 3 against Kowalski today. His 6th multi-hit game against Rocky Mountain this year. Lozano with his 2-run double down the right field line is at second base. A 1 pitch from Kowalski, the righty. Cobb takes at the bottom of the zone. That's a great frame by Feliciano. It looked like it was low and that he just barely brought it up to the bottom of the zone. And Cobb's way behind. A strikeout looking against Kowalski last time. 1 more strikeout for Kowalski, and he's got a new season high. He's got 6 tonight. 5 on the timer. Pitch to Cobb is next. Here it comes. Cobb bounces it towards short, fielded chest high by Kieber. Throw to first in time for out number 3. But Oakland ties the game in the top of the 5th inning on the first extra base hit of the night. It's a Tyler Lozano 2-run double that gets the job done. 4-4 heading to the bottom of the 5th inning here on 860 AM. The Answer. Bottom of the 5th, Ballers have tied the game 4 apiece. Tyler Lozano with the 2-run double down the right field line, his 3rd hit of the game, tying a season high in hits with that 2-run double. And Zach St. Pierre is on the hill for Oakland, going for his franchise-leading 14th win of his career. 7 last year. He could match that total with a win today if Oakland can take the final lead with him still on the hill. And that is very possible, I'd say, especially with his pitch count, much lower than Kowalski's, who ended up going 5 innings and throwing, I don't know, probably 105 pitches. And when it's all said and done, he gave up 4 runs. We'll get to his line later, as the Vibes will go to a lefty, it seems, in the 6th. But for now, a first pitch swing and a launched ball out to left center field sends Bugs towards the track. He's still running. It's carrying. It one-hops the wall. Kellum Clark with an opposite field double to get things going for the Vibes here in the 5th. That is their first hit since Gary Laurie Gonzalez's double in the 3rd. That one just kept carrying on Bugsy, the wind blowing steadily out to left. And I don't think Bugs really had any chance of catching that ball. So St. Pierre gives up a double to start this inning. Gives himself some hard work. But let's see if he can work out of it. Bottom of the 5th, 4-4 game. Vibes and Ballers. Nobody out. Clark at second. Here is Sam Linscott, who's 0 for 2. And he takes a center cut strike. 0-1. Linscott today. A ground out and a fly out and a foul ground caught by Santos. Not much foul ground out there in right, but he did catch it. 0-1. Linscott takes outside, 1-1. I see some fireworks going off in a distant neighborhood in Colorado Springs, out past right field, just over the horizon. 1-1. Ground ball hit towards short. Backhand Cobb throws deep. Got him! Tremaine Cobb Jr. with the throw from deep in the 5-6 hole. Throws out Linscott. Clark stays at second. 1 away. What a hose on the right arm of Tremaine Cobb Jr. He is playing an excellent shortstop this year. And he just gunned down Linscott from well into the outfield grass. 1 out. Dane Tofflin next. Clark had to stay at second base because of where that ball was hit. If he would have run to third, the throw from Cobb would have been to third to get him out. Tofflin 1 for 2 today. First pitch, the righty is outside for a ball. 4-4, Ballers and Vibes. 12 hits for Oakland, 6 for Rocky Mountain. Tofflin with a single up the middle and then a ground out to third base today. 1-0 count, 7 on the timer. St. Pierre comes home. Tofflin bounces it weakly towards third. Picked up by Allgaier. He looks the runner back to second. Fires across the diamond for out number 2. 2 ground balls hit to the left side. Unproductive outs for Linscott and Tofflin. 2 batters that the Vibes really need to be producing if they want to be winning ball games, which they have, well, lost 7 of their last 8. They won on Sunday after a 7-game losing streak. 4-4 score with 2 outs in the bottom of the 2nd. St. Pierre trying to keep the game tied after a booming opposite field double by Kellum Clark to lead off this inning. Here is Gary Laurie Gonzalez, who doubled off of St. Pierre in the 3rd. Righty-righty battle. First toss is in at the bottom of the zone for a strike. 0-1. Laurie Gonzalez, his 2 hits today have put him at 79 on the year. He's a .320 hitter. 0-1. He takes again near the bottom of the zone. Caught a ball this time. It's 1-1. Laurie Gonzalez, 26 years old, from Orlando. 2024, played with the Billings Mustangs. He was pretty good there. Even better this year, especially from a power standpoint. 3 homers last year, 11 this season. 1-1 toss. 3 on the timer. St. Pierre deals, and there is a ball stroked into left field. Druick fields, fires, holds the runner at third with a strong throw home. Nice throw by Davis Druick as Clark has to hold it at third base. But Gary Laurie Gonzalez has a 3-hit game against Oakland. He only had 9 hits in the previous 12 editions of this series, the season series. But Gary Laurie Gonzalez is hitting very well today. Just stroked one through the left side right there. Put him at first. Clark at third. 2 down, men at the corners for Garrett Kieber as the Vibes look to retake the lead in the bottom of the 5th after Oakland tied it with a Lozano 2-run double in the top of this inning. Kieber is 0 for 2 today. Right-handed batter, 5'9". Not tall, and so that high pitch looked like it was way above his head. 1-0. Kieber as an Owl last year with Northern Colorado, 5 for 30 against Oakland with 15 strikeouts and a 167 average. Swings and misses at the 1-0. It's 1-1. This year against Oakland, entered hitting .235. That's slightly better against the Ballers. 8 for 34, still with 9 strikeouts, but has driven in 5. Struck out his first time today against Short, and then flew out against St. Pierre to right field. 1-1 pitch. That's flown towards right field, but foul, out of play. 1-2. It's on to the Coca-Cola Pavilion. 4-4, 2 outs, bottom of the 5th. Vibes hosting the Ballers, game 1 of 6 here from Colorado Springs. This game not exactly flying by. Man at the corners for Kieber with 2 strikes and 2 outs. The pitch from St. Pierre is inside, call ball 2. Just missed the edge. 2-2, 90-mile-an-hour fastball in from St. Pierre. The runners, Clark at third, Laura Gonzalez at first. The pitch from St. Pierre is low, 3-2. St. Pierre has 1 walk. That was Feliciano in the 4th. Laura Gonzalez will get a head start here from first base. Clark will not from third. 3-2 count, 6 on the timer. St. Pierre settles, comes home, gets a fly ball out to center. Bugs backs up, still backing up, still backpedaling, makes the catch, shy of the track for out number 3. 2 hits in the inning, but 2 left for the Vibes as St. Pierre puts up his 3rd consecutive 0. Tied at 4 going to the 6th here from Rocky Mountain. Ballers trying to complete a comeback against the Vibes here on 860 AM The Answer. New arm for the Vibes here in the top of the 6th inning as Evan Kowalski had run out of pitches. He threw 105 today. He exits with the game tied at 4 in the top of the 6th. Oakland and Rocky Mountain. The new pitcher to face 2, 3, and 4, Santos, Almanza, and Harris, is number 21, John Walsh. So this is where things go south usually for the Vibes pitching-wise. It's the bullpen because, I mean, you're in a tie game, you're rolling with a guy with a 10.6 ERA who was signed on July 14th, has not faced Oakland yet. 9 appearances, 2-1 record for John Walsh, the lefty. 9 1/3 innings, 15 hits, 7 walks, 7 Ks. He's a 25-year-old lefty from Grand Junction. I will counter with this, though. I know this isn't who you exactly want. First of all, he's going to face Santos and Almanza. That's 2 lefties. Second of all, Walsh has recorded 3 straight scoreless outings out of the pen. His first pitch to Isai Santos is a strike, 0-1. Walsh on Sunday at Missoula in a 12-5 win went 2 scoreless, 2 hits, and a strikeout to help the Vibes snap a 7-game losing streak. 0-1. Santos takes in for a strike, 0-2. And Walsh here comes in for Kowalski, who had his best outing, I would say, against Oakland this season. No, second best outing. I stand corrected. His first game at Raimondi, 5 innings, 4 hits, no runs. That's his best start against the Vibes this year. This one, meh. 0-2. Santos outside takes ball 1. I mean, Kowalski today, 5 innings, that's good. 12 hits, that's not good. But 11 of them were singles, so that's better. 4 earned runs, that's good. 2 walks, not bad. 1-2 outside, called a ball on Santos, just missed. 2-2. And then 6 strikeouts, that's great for Kowalski. That ties his season high. Does that in 2 of his last 3 starts. 2-2 pitch to the lefty Santos. Grounds it right side into the mitt of Toughlin. He takes it himself to the square just ahead of Santos for out number 1. So Walsh faces the lefty and gets him out. Now he'll try to do the same against Christian Almanza. Easier said than done. Although Almanza didn't look comfortable against Kowalski today. He went 1 for 3 with a broken bat single and 2 strikeouts. And that broken bat single was just not hit well. First pitch here, he hits it well to right field. Clark racing back. It is down. It's to the wall. Almanza has himself a double, a 1-out 2-bagger for Christian Almanza here in the 6th. Some kids are pounding on the metal seats in front of me. I was wondering what that sound was. Ethan and I are both looking out. I think they've got some toy cars. Some other fans are telling the kids to stop it. I was liking it. It was good energy. I want more banging on the bleachers. Here's Danny Harris. Takes inside for ball 1. So Christian Almanza with a double, a 1-out double, blasted over Clark's head in right field. He almost caught it. Harris is 1 for 3 today. Almanza the runner at second, the go-ahead run. The pitch. Harris takes low. It's ball 2. 4-4 game, Ballers and Vibes, top of the 6th here from Colorado Springs. Almanza with that double, just the second extra base hit, I should say, for Oakland today. Daniel Harris the 4th, right-handed batter, facing the lefty, John Walsh. Now Harris takes in, it's low and inside, it's 3-0. Harris has been relatively quiet against the Vibes this season, just 6 RBI. He does have 4 doubles. 3-0 pitch. Harris takes ball 4. It's a 4-pitch walk to Danny. 2 on for Jake Allgaier with 1 out in the top of the 6th as Jake tries to put Oakland ahead. He'll hit from the right side for the first time today. That's the brilliance of a switch hitter. You never have the matchup disadvantage. You always have the upper hand against a lefty or a righty. Now, if only there was an amphibious pitcher on the mound. I mean, ambidextrous. If you know, you know. I know what amphibious means, and I know what ambidextrous means. But if you remember a certain newspaper headline about Pat Venditti, then you know what I'm talking about. But only then would it be more interesting. So here we go. Ballers looking to grab their first lead since the 2nd inning. 2 on, 1 out for Allgaier hitting from the right side. Pitch from Walsh. Taken in for a strike. Good breaking ball into Allgaier, who is 1 for 3 today with an RBI single through the right side in the 1st. Allgaier on a 4-game hit streak. 0-1 pitch. Allgaier swings and misses. 0-2. His previous 3 games as a part of this hit streak were all 2-hit games. So he has 1 hit today. How about another right here? This would be the spot for it. Game tied at 4. 1 out. Top of the 6th. Here from Rocky Mountain. Lefty Walsh looks back at second. Comes home. Allgaier takes low and inside. That was a changeup. 78 miles an hour buried. I still don't have the ability to get to TrackMan. I think the problem is because I'm trying to access it on my laptop, and my signal strength isn't that great for my personal hotspot. 1-2. Allgaier taps it to third. Double play chance. Throw to second for 1. Throw to first is in time. No. Pulled off the bag is Toughlin. And now coming home is the runner Almanza. He's safe. Almanza caught the Vibe sleeping, and Oakland leads 5-4. And now after that call at first, Les Lancaster out to talk to Scott Ginger saying, please talk to your other umpires because that call could greatly affect this game at first. It looked like maybe a double play. Great stretch from Toplin at first, but he was ruled to be off the bag. Let's see if any other umpires had a view of it. He's talking to the crew chief, Travis Schatzman, and also Zach Dart, the third base umpire. As it stands now, Almanza's heads-up base running allows him to score on Allgaier's fielder's choice. Harris was out 5-4. 2 outs in the inning. Ballers lead 5-4. Top of the 6th. The call. This is important. The call stands, and Oakland leads. Christian Almanza with some heads-up base running. Allgaier drives in a run with the fielder's choice. He gets the job done when it's all said and done. Christian Almanza taking an extra 90 right there to put Oakland up 5-4 with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Here's Cam Buford. First pitch is low, 1-0. Les Lancaster probably not happy about that call at first base. It was a great attempt by Toplin to keep the bag, but he was sprawling off of the bag while picking the baseball. The throw from Garcia was not the best, and that throw causes, in the end, Oakland to take the lead. 1-0. Allgaier at first. Pitch to Buford. High strike, 1-1. Cam has now collected 6 straight 2-hit games. Well, games with at least 2 hits. In truth, 3 of those games, he's collected at least 3 hits. And he rips one into the gap in right center field here. It is cut off by Booth, and Allgaier goes to third. He gets held up there, and now the ball is dropped, and Buford starts towards second and goes back to first. Allgaier has to stay at third, and Cam Buford has his 4th 3-hit game in his past 7 contests. Past 6 contests. Wow. I mean, that's, if we want to be really technical, that's now 4 in his last 5 contests. Goodness gracious. Davis Druick is removed here for a pinch hitter. It's going to be Nick Leahy. As Aaron Miles smells the blood in the water. Now, will Rocky Mountain go to the pen here with a righty warming to face Jake Allgaier, or to face Nick Leahy? Davis Druick had scored twice today, was 1 for 2 with a single and a walk, but it's Leahy to hit here. After the single by Buford, a line drive over the head of the second baseman Garcia, and now there's someone coming out. I don't think that's Les Lancaster, the manager. I think that is, oh, well, you know what? It might just be Les in his 3rd year as field manager because Rocky Mountain's going to the pen. They will take the ball from Walsh, and Leahy will not have the matchup advantage. He will face a right-handed thrower. Walsh is done. His scoreless streak of 3 straight games without allowing a run is over. And the Ballers' lead is 5-4 here in the top of the 6th. 2 outs, runners on the corners for Nick Leahy. We'll tell you about the new Rocky Mountain arm when you return on 860 AM. The Answer. A righty comes on here for Rocky Mountain for a lefty in Walsh. It is Wyatt Tucker who comes in for Walsh. here in the top of the 6th. The situation that Tucker inherits is this. 2 on, men at the corners for the Ballers in the top of the 6th inning with 2 outs. Allgaier and Buford are the runners. Nick Leahy, the pinch hitter, came in to face Walsh, but Walsh was relieved, pulled for Tucker, who threw 2/3 of an inning and gave up a homer Saturday against Missoula. Tucker, the righty, 25 years old, 6'3", 215, 4.97 ERA, 2-3, 23 appearances, 38 innings, 38 hits, 28 walks, 49 strikeouts, 11.6 strikeouts per 9 innings. That is very good. His first pitch to Nick Leahy is low, 1-0. This is his 6th appearance, Wyatt Tucker, the righty, against Oakland. He's given up 8 earned runs, 12 hits in 10 2/3, but also has 13 strikeouts. Leahy on a 4-game hit streak. 1-0 pitch. Leahy nearly drilled in the head. Has to turn away. It's 2-0. Leahy, 333 hitter against the Vibes this year. 11 for 33 with 15 driven in and 6 bombs. And he's done it against righties and lefties, but not against Tucker. 2-0's a strike right down center. That was a breaking ball in there from Tucker. 5-4 Oakland leads, top of the 6th. Runners at the corners are Allgaier and Buford. 2 outs in the frame. 2-1 pitch to Leahy. Pitch from Tucker. Oh, yeah, he went. Good slider off the plate. And it's 2-2 on Leahy. Ballers took the lead thanks to a Christian Almanza double. He came home to score on a near ground ball double play. Allgaier reached on the fielder's choice in the end. That was the ruling. And Almanza, with a close bang-bang play at first base, comes home from third on that same play to take the lead. 2-2. Runner goes from first, and Leahy strikes out on a hard fastball at 95, pumped down the middle. So Aaron Miles goes to the bench for a righty against the lefty, but Les Lancaster goes to a righty to strike out Leahy as Wyatt Tucker comes on and gets the K. Ballers take the lead, though, after the Almanza double. Ballers leave 2, and they score 1 in the top of the 6th inning thanks to some heads-up base running by Christian Almanza. The Ballers lead is 5-4 as we head to the bottom of the 6th on 860 AM The Answer. Bottom of the 6th, Ballers lead 5-4 here from Colorado Springs. Zach St. Pierre still on the mound in relief today for the 2nd time this season. And as the Ballers lead 5-4 here in the bottom of the 6th, it's time to look at scores from elsewhere in the Pioneer League on this Tuesday night. Ty Dooley leading off the frame. The lefty hits one down the first base line. It's foul just to the right of the bag. Scott Ginger nearly fell down trying to get out of the way. So your scores. Billings leads Glacier 8-3 in the bottom of the 5th from Billings. Top of the 6th, it's tied in Grand Junction between the Ogden Raptors and the Grand Junction Jackalopes. Idaho Falls Chuckers at home and giving it to the Voyagers 11-0. Ripped foul ball off to the left, 0-2 on Dooley. That's in the top of the 5th from Idaho Falls. And then one more score for you. Boise leads Yuba Sutter 5-1 at Bryant Field in Marysville, top of the 2nd inning. 0-2 pitch, grounded weakly to second. Picked up by Harris, underhand flip to first for out number 1. No game today, it seems, in Missoula between the Sky Sox and the Paddleheads. That, to me, means there will be a doubleheader. And it looks like that doubleheader will be on Saturday. Yes. Be the second time that Missoula is having a Saturday doubleheader in a row. I think that might actually be a conflict that they're having with their field at Ogren Park. Pitch outside to Joscar Feliciano. It is 1-0. Looks like Druick is back in the game in left field. 1-0. That's outside for a strike, 1-1. Yep, Druick's back in the game, so Leahy is one and done after striking out swinging in the 6th to end the top of this inning. 1-1. Feliciano takes just off the plate, low and away. 2-1. I'm exact with St. Pierre. You can't really. You can praise him as that's popped out to right field. Isai Santos over towards the line, makes the squeeze. No, dropped it. Santos dropped it. Fires towards second, and his throw is not in time. Then second base gets kicked out by Feliciano. It's a 2-base error. That was a wild play. Isai Santos with a rare error out and right. Just did not catch the baseball. Dark, pitch black sky here in Colorado Springs, and he just lost it. Just saw it drop out of his glove. Second base being tended to here after Feliciano kicked it out after the error. Well, again, let's sing St. Pierre's praises. Up to this point in the game, 3 2/3 innings, 4 hits, no runs, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. As it stands now, he would be the winning pitcher tonight. It would be his 7th win of the year. It would be his 2nd year in a row as a baller, putting together a 7-win season. This late career resurgence for Zach St. Pierre. He has become quite the pitcher in the Pioneer League. Misses outside there, 1-0. Tristan Garcia at the plate. 9-hitter for the Vibes. After the 2-base error by Santos, there's a runner at second. Pitch outside, 2-0. 5-4, the Ballers in front against the Vibes. 1 out, runner at second is Feliciano. Garcia has a double today, an RBI 2-bagger. He's 1 for 2. 2-0 pitch. He takes a mighty hack and fouls it off to the left, 2-1. Garcia is only 5'5" and then shrinks down in his stance, taking his front foot and putting it on the chalk behind him. It's a wide open left-handed batter stance. Stands at about 4 foot tall. Grounds it to third, picked by Allgaier. His throw to first in plenty of time for out number 2. This Ballers defense continues to shine, even after an Isai Santos error out in right field. The first error of the game by either side. Allgaier with just a nice pick on a hard hit ground ball by Garcia for out number 2. Carter Booth, the leadoff man, is 0 for 3 today, and he bats next. Does have an RBI with a ground out in the 2nd inning, also a strikeout. First pitch to Booth, hack and a miss. It's 0-1. Ballers lead 5-4 in the bottom of the 6th. 2 outs. Runner at second. That's Feliciano. Booth against Oakland has 7 RBI, now 8, with 3 home runs. And Booth drills one. Left center field. Bugs racing back. It's off the base of the wall and ties the game. Booth with his 2nd RBI of the contest. 9th of the year against Oakland. Ties it at 5 with a booming double to left center field. Booth just got a pitch to hit right there. Hanging breaking ball. And smashed it into left center. So we're all new, 5-5 in the bottom of the 6th inning. after Oakland took the lead in the top of this inning. And it is an unearned run against St. Pierre, because the run that scored, Feliciano, scored on an error. There's a strike on the outer half to Clark. It's 0-1. Kellum Clark with a double his last time facing St. Pierre. Struck out his first time against Zach. Runner on second with 2 outs. That's Booth. St. Pierre's 0-1. Flown foul off to the left, 0-2. Over towards the Jose Cuervo Cantina with some string lights that are unlit. Doesn't look like it's being used tonight. I'm guessing it's open later in the week, maybe the weekend games. Oh, 2. A sword comes out for Kellum Clark. He went after it, an appeal to second. Zach Dart says he absolutely did go, and St. Pierre gets his 3rd strikeout to end the 6th inning. 1 unearned run scores in the frame for the Vibes on a rare error by Isai Santos out in right. 5-5 your score. Ballers and High Wheelers, 3 innings left from Colorado Springs on 860 AM. The Answer. Brand new after 6 here in the top of the 7th. It is 5-all between the Ballers and the Vibes here from Colorado Springs. I'm Nevada Cullen with Vince back in our 860 AM The Answer studios. In a tie game, it is Wyatt Tucker on the hill for the Vibes. He got a strikeout to end the top of the 6th inning for the Vibes. He'll face Lozado, Bugs, and Cobb. 8-9-1. Aaron Miles giving Darryl Buggs II some instruction before going up to bat against Tucker in this inning. Ballers trailed 4-2 up until the 5th when they tied the game with this man's 2-run double down the right field line. That's right, Tyler Lozano, already 3 hits today. First pitch here is high for a ball. Want to know, could this be the Tyler Lozano game? The Tyler Lozano game at this point this season was just the other day in Marysville when his grand slam helped Reed Butts get the win against the High Wheelers. 1-0 high and tight, 2-0. If Lozano picks up another hit in this game, he'll match a career high with his 4th hit. He does not have a 4-hit game yet this season. He missed some time with a leg injury that was suffered against Rocky Mountain in Oakland. 5 on the timer. Pitch is inside, and it is 3-0 on Tilo. He'll take a leadoff walk here against Tucker. No doubt he is the red light on 3-0 in a 5-5 game. He does take a strike on the outer half. 3-1. Challenges today, 0 for 1 for Oakland, 1 for 1 for Rocky Mountain. At least that's what I have written down. Hitters count, 3-1 pitch. Lozano takes a strike on the outer half. 3-2. Good 3-1 pitch there from Tucker, not giving in. Payoff pitch is next. The 3-2. Lozano fouls it straight back. It's the 6th appearance for Tucker against Oakland. That includes 1 start in which he gave up 7 earned runs over 5 innings. He's been good against Oakland other than that. Payoff pitch. Lozano pokes it out to left field. Linscott racing in. Linscott can't make the catch. Lozano hustles to second. That was a long run for Linscott. I think hit and error are both fair decisions. And I don't think I'll find out for a while. It could be a double for Tilo, which would mean his second 4-hit game in his career. Either way, the Ballers get the go-ahead run to second base here in the top of the 7th inning. And there's no one out for Darryl Buggs the second. He might bunt here. He does. And he pulls back at ball 1 high. The corners were pinched in, Dooley and Tofflin. It's a 5-5 game. Ballers and Vibes. It's the top of the 7th inning. This is definitely when you bunt. Buggs is 1 for 2 today with a sac fly. Does he have a sacrifice hit added here? Shows again, pulls back, called a strike outside. That looked off the plate. It's 1-1. I don't blame Buggsy there for pulling back. Looks like Aaron Miles there is telling him to hit away. We'll see if that is the case. Lozano the go-ahead run at second with nobody out. Corner still pinched. 1-1. He squares. Buggs pops it up behind home and out of play. He watches the ball go into the stands. That was not a pitch to bunt on, but it was so far inside, I think you just had trouble getting the bat out of the way. It's 1-2. Now get this. Tofflin, the first baseman, still playing on the grass, even though it's a 1-2 count. Does Buggs dare bunt here with 2 strikes? No. He swings and fouls it off. Watch out. That's a rocket shot onto the Coca-Cola courtyard out in right field foul territory. Buggs' first pro homer came against Rocky Mountain back on the 9th of July. 1-2 pitch. Buggs, broken bat, flare into right field, base hit. Lozano gets the stop sign. He had a late break at second, but Darryl Buggs does the job. He did not bunt successfully, but he does have a 2-hit game, his 15th of the year, and with that little flare into right field, the Ballers are in business. With men at the corners and no one out in the top of the 7th, game tied at 5. Oakland with a whopping 16 hits today and still just 5 runs to show for it. They only have 2 extra base hits. Well, 3 if you count Lozano's. But the scoring system is behind. My good friend Ethan Ibe is supposed to be doing the Presto stats and has fallen very far behind. First pitch to Tremaine Cobb Jr. is a strike on the outside corner. It is 0-1. 5-5 game, top of the 7th. Cobb already with 2 hits today, but 0 for his last 2 at the plate. 7 on the timer. 0-1 pitch from Tucker. Buggs goes. Pitches outside. Buggs is safe. Runner coming home. Lozano slides in. No! He's out, but the catcher was blocking home. Feliciano's knee was blocking home plate. Lozano did not have a lane. Aaron Miles is furious. Obstruction should be the call at home. Again, Lozano's cleat slid into the knee of the catcher, Feliciano. Aaron Miles pleading his case with Travis Schatzman. How is that the call? It looked like clear obstruction. That's as textbook as it gets. Tyler Lozano slid into home plate but couldn't touch home because of the knee of Feliciano. And this game is still tied because of that call. Buggs steals second. And he's just one stolen base shy of tying Austin Davis's single season record, but that takes a back seat right now. Can Aaron Miles even ask for help? He's pointing down to Zach Dart. I don't know what Zach Dart can do about it. Man, that's a head scratcher. I'd have to watch that back on Flow Sports. If you're listening on the YouTube stream, feel free to leave a comment over whether you think it was obstruction or not. But to me, it looked to be the case as there was a double steal put on. Lozano with a late break home. And now Travis Schatzman will head out to talk to the other umpires with some goading from Aaron Miles. Zach Dart kind of had his back turned and now will walk back and talk to them. I don't think this is going to be a long discussion. I don't think the other umpires can overturn the call at home. And out is the call indeed. Thank you, Mark Kahn, for chiming in with it was definitely obstruction. Oh. Mark said he wasn't watching. Okay. Ben also comments on YouTube, I didn't see it because I'm only listening, but it sounded like obstruction. Well, thank you all for your support. So the call is out at home. Lozano is out. It was, I guess it's technically his caught stealing. I don't remember who cut it off. But we'll say it was the second baseman, Garcia, who threw home. Meeting on the mound for Rocky Mountain. Ballers still can take the lead here, but unfortunately they run into an out with, I would argue, a missed call at home plate. I would like to hear the explanation that Travis Schatzman gave to Aaron Miles. I'll definitely ask him after the game. Again, Tyler Lozano and Aaron Miles both agreed that was obstruction at home plate. Instead, Lozano's out. Bugs is at second, the go-ahead run, with one out for Tremaine Cobb Jr. After that long break, how does Tucker fare against Tremaine? Cobb takes in the dirt. It's 2-1. Five your score in the top of the seventh. One out after some controversy here from Colorado Springs. Now each team has been robbed of a run by a call made by the umpiring crew. At least they could argue that. Cobb asking about the count. I think 2-1 was the signal. Couldn't really see the fingers of Travis Schatzman there. The pitch. Cobb bounces it towards short. This will be a tough play. Kieber's throw. Wow, plenty of time. Nice job by Kieber. Bugs had a good read on the ball, though, and made it to third. But now there's 2 outs, and the Ballers might not take the lead after it's all said and done in the top of the 7th inning. Unfortunately, for Mass Spectrician and Mr. Peterson, the flow footage is it's hard to see that call at home plate. So, oh well. Isai Santos' first pitch swing bounces it foul over towards the first base dugout. It's 0-1. The Ballers and the Vibes are tied at 5 in the bottom of the after the bottom of the 6th here in the top of the 7th. There's 2 outs in the top of the 7th, and Bugs is the go-ahead run at third base. Lozano caught stealing home on a double steal. Cobb grounds out to move Bugs to third. 0-1 on Santos. Pitch. Santos takes high and away. It's 1-1. Eastside today is the lone baller that is hitless. They have 16 hits today, and Santos is 0 for 3 with a walk. His 6-game hit streak on the line. The runner at third, the go-ahead run in Bugs. Santos on 1-1, lines it into right field, and there's his first hit of the game. It's number 17 for the Ballers, and it puts Oakland ahead 6-5 in the 7th. A 2-out, Isai Santos RBI knock into right field, extends his hit streak to 7, and puts Oakland back in the lead. Just dropped it in, past Garcia into right. Bugs easily scores, and ball don't lie. Here's Christian Almanza. Roped a double to right field last time up. First pitch here. Almanza takes high. Nearly swung, but did not. It's 1-0. 6-5, Ballers lead the Vibes in the top of the 7th. 2 outs, runner at first is Santos, who makes up for his error. That allowed the Vibes to tie the game in the bottom of the 6th. 1-0. Almanza jacks one, center field. Booth in the right center field gap, races over, makes the catch for out number 3. 2 hits in the inning and 1 run as Oakland takes the lead on the RBI knock by Isai Santos as he extends his hit streak to 7. He's driven in 12 in his last 7 games. And Santos makes up for his error from the bottom of the 6th inning. Time to stretch. 6-5 Oakland over Rocky Mountain here on 860 AM. The Answer. Bottom of the 7th, Zach St. Pierre still pitching for Oakland, who leads 6-5 thanks to Isai Santos's RBI knock in the top of this 7th inning. Lynn Scott Tofflin and Laura Gonzalez due up in the bottom of the 7th as it's time to check on where are they now? Where are the former ballers? How are they doing? Well, let's find out. First, let's go to the Atlantic League. As unfortunately the Southern Maryland Blue Crabs were defeated today 10-8. That's Dondre Hubbard and Brett Barrera's team. First pitch of this bottom of the 7th inning to Lynn Scott is outside for a ball, 1-0. Dondre pinch hit today. Brett Barrera, though, 2 for 4 with 2 RBI. 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. Lynn Scott today, the batter, is 0 for 3. We also have a final from Lexington. The Legends beat the Gastonia Ghost Peppers 7-6. There's a ball jacked out to left field on his horse's Druick, and it 2 hops off the wall. Lynn Scott with a leadoff double, his first hit of the game. It comes here in the 7th. Let's see if Carson Lambert pitched today. No, he did not pitch for the Lexington Legends in their 7-6 win. It's interesting because he's been closing out some games. I wonder if he would have pitched recently for them. Yes. He got roughed up a bit on Sunday, unfortunately, against York in a 7-6 loss. So, tying run at second, nobody out. Bottom of the 7th. Squaring to bunt and then pulling back is Dane Toffland. It's 1-0. St. Pierre still on the mound, but Oakland does have Chewy going in the pen. Checking in on the American Association now on where are they now as we look at former ballers and how they're doing tonight. 1-0. Ripped foul off to the right, out of play, 1-1. Dante Stewart had a double and an RBI. He was 1 for 4 in a loss for Lake Country. He was an all-star in the American Association. One. That ball ripped through the left side, base hit. Druick racing towards the ball, picks it up, fires it in to prevent a run from scoring. St. Pierre, the pitcher, cuts it off to make sure that Tofflin stays at first base. But I think we're going to have to cut this segment short, maybe. Well, we'll see. But we do have to focus on this situation. Tyler Lozano goes out to talk to his pitcher. Runners at first and third in the bottom of the 7th. Rocky Mountain trying to tie this game or take the lead against Oakland at 6-5 ballers. And with this meeting on the mound, maybe we can check on some other former ballers. Big win today for Tyler Davis's Birmingham Barons, but Davis did not pitch. First pitch is fouled off by Gary Laura Gonzalez. It's 0-1. I think that's all for today for Where Are They Now in terms of the former ballers in action. As Gary Laura Gonzalez is already 3 for 3 today and hits here with 2 on, men at the corners for the Vibes, nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. Laura Gonzalez fouls it off to the right again. It's 0-2. Can St. Pierre get Laura Gonzalez for the first time today? He has a double and a single against St. Pierre. And he takes a long walk around after that foul ball before heading back to the right-handed batter's box. Linscott and Toplin the runners. St. Pierre set at the belt. His 0-2. Bounce sharply foul to the left side, then back towards Allgaier at third. St. Pierre's pitch count at 84. So I'm going to assume this will be his last inning, as he could pitch Sunday as well in this series. 0-2. Line drive, foul off to the right, out of play. Still 0-2 on Laura Gonzalez. Not a lot of whiffs from St. Pierre today. He has just 3 strikeouts. He's given up a few doubles. Laura Gonzalez, Clark, and Linscott, who's at third. Toplin at first. Another 0-2. Runner goes. Pitches outside. Lozano's throw to second is perfect. There's out number 1. Toplin is erased. Tyler Lozano catches another runner. That's his 9th runner erased on the bases this year. Toplin takes a chance. It does not pay off. Caught stealing 2-4. Harris applies the tag easily, and now the infield can come in for Oakland. The pitch missed for a ball. It's 1-2 on Laura Gonzalez with 1 out. A 6-5 lead for the Ballers with Linscott at third. The pitch low, 2-2. It's the bottom of the 7th. We're in the far reaches of this ball game, the late innings. There have been 27 hits and yet only 11 runs. Both pitching staffs have given up their knocks, but they've limited damage. The 2-2. Laura Gonzalez swings and misses on a pitch in the dirt. Zach St. Pierre with a beautiful off-speed pitch ends his day with the K of Laura Gonzalez, the first time that Laura Gonzalez has been retired today. St. Pierre, an admirable effort in relief of Luke Short, will give way to Connor Richardson. It's Chewy when you return on 860 AM. The Answer. Connor Richardson on for Oakland to try to strand the tying run at third here in the bottom of the 7th in Colorado Springs. Zach St. Pierre is done, and boy, was he good in relief. I mean, really sharp stuff from Zach. He scattered some 6, 7 hits, I guess. I guess I'm missing one. 7 hits over his, oh yes, I was missing one. 7 hits over his 5 1/3 innings of work. 1 unearned run, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. But he is responsible for Linscott at third, as Chewy is on in relief to face Garrett Kieber, who is 0 for 3 today. The tying run at third is Linscott. 6-5, Ballers lead, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, righty-righty battle, Kieber and Chewy, who Thursday against Yuba Sutter, he hasn't pitched in almost a week. Misses inside there, 1-0. He pitched a scoreless inning. And Chewy is now at a team best 2.29 ERA. This is his 31st appearance, second most on the squad. 39 and a third innings, 6 walks, 30 Ks. 0-1? No. 1-0 is fouled off. It's 1-1. I believe at least that first pitch was called a ball. On the scoreboard it says 0-2. That is incorrect. It is 1-1. Chewy's 1-1 toss to the righty Keeber. Runner at third. Outside, 2-1. There we go. They fixed it on the scoreboard out there in left center. Lynn Scott at third base. The tying run in a 6-5 game in the bottom of the 7th. Starts and stops towards home. The pitch from Chewy. Bends in just inside. 3-1. First base is open, so you don't want to give in to Keeber here, but at the same time, dually on deck, a lefty. You'd probably rather go after Keeber, who's driven in 51 this year. The 3-1 toss. Keeber swings, bounces it to shortstop. 2 hops for Cobb. His throw in plenty of time to get Keeber at first. Chewy comes in and makes sure that St. Pierre can still be the winning pitcher in tonight's ball game. 6-5, Ballers lead. Heading to the 8th on 860 AM The Answer. We have a debut on our hands, a Rocky Mountain debut, that is, and this is a pitcher that Oakland has seen before this season. That's right. Very mysterious this situation is. Who is this pitcher, you may ask? Well, it is none other than one Quinn Waterhouse, who is a member of the Pioneer League all-name team. Do not forget. But anyways, the new pitcher is Quinn Waterhouse, a lefty for the Vibes, coming in to face 4, 5, and 6, Harris, Allgaier, and Buford, which is, interestingly, all righties. Waterhouse making his Rocky Mountain debut, 6'4", 215 lefty, 25 years old. Traded from Boise to Rocky Mountain on, it was 5 days ago, August 7th, for a player to be named later. 7.65 ERA this season in Boise. Waterhouse, 26 appearances, 5 saves, 42 and a third, 63 hits, 22 walks, 38 Ks. This is his 3rd outing against Oakland this season. Oakland has not had trouble against Waterhouse. It remains to be seen. As Harris fouls one back, 0-1. It remains to be seen if Waterhouse can have a clean inning against Oakland here, because he has given up 8 earned runs in 2 appearances, and that's just 8 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings against Oakland. Harris takes high. It's 1-1. On June 25th, Quinn Waterhouse, the lefty. Oh, by the way, the score is 6-5 here in the top of the 8th. Nobody out. Harris today is 1 for 3. Waterhouse suffered through a 7-run 4th inning against Oakland. 1-1 high and away, 2-1. In a 17-7 loss for Boise, Waterhouse gave up 6 hits, 7 runs, 6 earned, with 1 walk and 1 strikeout in that 4th inning. He had just moved out of the closer role for the Hawks. 2-1. Harris bounces one into his mitt, and his throw to first is in time. Waterhouse with the put away for out number 1. It was much better for Waterhouse the second time facing Oakland on June 27th in a 15-6 loss. He went a season-high 3 2/3 innings. 4 hits, 3 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts for the 2024 Ogden closer. and 2023 Pioneer League champ with the Raptors. This is his third different Pioneer League team. Waterhouse, the lefty, against a righty. Allgaier shoots one right field far but foul. It's 0-1. Allgaier, a switch hitter batting from the right side, is 1 for 3 today. Drove in the 5th run of the game with a fielder's choice. Doesn't get an RBI because Almanza scored after really the play had wrapped up. 0-1. Allgaier tried to check his swing. Could he? Yes. All right. 1-1. Ballers lead 6-5. 1 out. Top of the 8th inning in a tight contest here in Colorado Springs. Ballers have 17 hits, but just 6 runs to show for it. Allgaier nearly hit by the pitch, low and in. It's 2-1. RBI single back in the first. Nothing really for Allgaier since then. Wyatt Tucker, by the way, went an inning and a third. Gave up 1 earned run. 2-1. Allgaier chops it high to short. Keeper comes down with it. Throw is picked out nicely by Toftlin for out number 2. Brings up Cam Buford, who, goodness gracious, is just scorching the baseball. I mean, look, if this is not your Pioneer League hitter of the week, then I'm a monkey's uncle. 667 last week against Yuba Setter. 14 for 21 at the plate. 6 RBI, 9 extra base hits with 5 doubles, a triple, and 3 bombs. He had 3 free passes compared to just 3 Ks. Buford on the first pitch here takes low. 5 multi-hit games and a 14.29 slugging percentage. That is exceptional. And he also, including today, has 3 straight 3-hit games in 4 of his last 5. 1-0. Buford takes outside, 2-0. Also tied his career high with 4 hits in Game 2 of the series on Wednesday against Yuba Setter, with 2 doubles in that game. If anyone's going to hit a homer tonight, it's him. Instead, he chops it to short. 2 hops for Keeber, his throw to first, in plenty of time to get Buford. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Waterhouse in the first inning of his his Rocky Mountain debut, acquired via the Boise Hawks. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It's the Ballers leading 6-5 over the Vibes, and Chewy's back out there for the 8th. When you return on 860 AM, The Answer. Bottom of the 8th from Black Tickets Park in Rocky Mountain, Colorado Springs to be exact. I'm Nevada Cullen with Vince back on our 860 AM The Answer Studios. Ballers up 6-5. Chewy is out there on the hill for the bottom of the 8th. And then he will turn it over to TBD. Maybe Connor Sullivan in the 9th. Maybe someone else. We will see who the Ballers roll with in the 9th inning. But first things first, you got to keep it at a 6-5 lead. Only reason I question whether Sully will come in is because he pitched on Sunday and went over an inning. And so we'll see. First pitch is high. It's 1-0 on Ty Dooley. Bottom of the 8th. 7, 8, and 9 due up in this inning for the Vibes. Dooley is 0 for 2 with a walk. Time is called before the 1-0 pitch. Dooley, 3-year star at Coastal Carolina. 1-0. Little shot past short. Blooped into left field for a base hit. Leadoff knock The Vibes will take it however they can get them, and they've gotten quite a few leadoff men on. 3 in the past 4 innings. 4 total today out of 8 innings, so half of the time the leadoff man has reached base for the Vibes today. And that little bloop is good enough to put the tying run aboard for the Vibes for Joscar Feliciano here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Feliciano in this game, 2-run single, walk, and reached on an error. Squares to bunt, drops it down first base side. Almanza will pick it up and race to the bag. No, he'll just tag Feliciano. It is a successful sacrifice bunt, 3 unassisted for Feliciano. So that tying run is now in scoring position for Tristan Garcia, who has driven in 50 this season after his RBI double in the second. 6-5, 1 out. Ballers lead, bottom of the 8th. Dooley is the tying run at second. Lefty Garcia against a righty in Connor Richardson. First pitch inside. Did he go? No. Garcia just held up at ball 1. Garcia RBI double in the second. He's 1 for 3 today. Connor Richardson facing Rocky Mountain for the 6th time this season. 1-0. Garcia hits it just over his mitt to second. Harris throws on the run to first. Perfect throw for out number 2. Dooley goes to third. And Harris really had a tough play on his hands there, throwing across his body to first, but he made the play. There's 2 outs. Chewy before this had made 5 appearances against Rocky Mountain. A 1-0 record, 6 innings, 4 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 Ks, and 2 homers allowed. One was Otto Jones, who's since been released. The other, Dane Toughlin, who will probably bat in the 9th. Here's Carter Booth, the leadoff man, who takes a strike on the inner half. 0-1. And Rocky Mountain still has all their challenges. They could use it if they want to. They could use it right here. Could have used it on that pitch. A 1 count. Chewy misses low, 1-1. Runner at third is Dooley. He's the tying run in a 6-5 ball game. Ballers lead, bottom of the 8th. 2 outs. Booth in this game, 2 RBI, including a booming RBI double against St. Pierre in the 6th. Next pitch ripped but foul towards the berm. And there's no more kids there. I guess it's past their bedtime. There is action in the pen for Oakland. And it looks like Sully. Yeah, it is. Connor Sullivan loosening. He has a day of rest because of the travel day yesterday. 1-2 pitch from Chewy. Lifted, high, left field, playable. Druick is there, camped underneath, makes the squeeze for out number 3 here in the bottom of the 8th. And after the leadoff knock by Dooley and a little bit of small ball, he's left stranded at third to end the 8th inning. Final frame when you return. Ballers trying to close out a 6-5 win over the Vibes on 860 AM. The Answer. Les Lancaster emptying the bullpen today, going with his 5th different pitcher. Hunter Bryan will come on, and it's not just the scrubs out of the pen. Hunter Bryan is the Rocky Mountain closer. He has not pitched, though, since Tuesday against Missoula. My guess is either just to give him a break as he's made 30 appearances or because of maybe a small injury, as Bryan's first appearance in a week will be against the Ballers here in Game 1 of this series. In Game 1 against Missoula, 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 3 earned runs, and a strikeout. So he's hoping to shake off that rust. Brian, the righty, 24 years old, from Visalia, California. 6 foot 195, right-hander, 4.97 ERA for Brian. 2-3 record, 30 appearances, 10 saves. 38 innings, 34 hits, 16 walks, and 50 strikeouts. His 5th appearance against Oakland, and he has done well against the Ballers this season. 4 appearances, 0-1 record, 1.8 ERA over 5 innings, 3 hits allowed, and 4 strikeouts. His first pitch of the night to Davis Druick is swung on and muscled foul off to the left and out of play, 0-1. Looking ahead in the bottom of the 9th inning, it will be Connor Sullivan against 2, 3, and 4 in the Vibes order, Clark, Linscott, and Tofflin. Sully does have a couple saves against the Vibes this season. Next to Druick is outside and low. It's 1-1. See if the Ballers could manufacture an insurance run in this inning against Bryan. Against Waterhouse, they did not even have a man aboard in the 8th inning. It was a scoreless inning in Waterhouse's Rocky Mountain debut. Druick fouls one back to the screen, 1-2 against the righty Bryan. Druick in this game is 1 for 2 with a single, a fly out to center, a walk, and 2 runs scored. Pinch hit for Nick Leahy batted in the 6th, then struck out swinging. And a little chess match between Aaron Miles and Les Lancaster. 4 on the timer. Pitch to Druick. 1-2 swung on and missed. Hunter Bryan with the K to start his day. Start his night. We are almost at 3 hours of game time. Game started at 6:35 local time, 5:35 back in the Bay, and we're just 2 minutes shy of the 3-hour mark. Here's Tyler Lozano, and by the way, he does have a 4-hit game, tied for his career best. First pitch hack, flies it foul off to the right, 0-1. Tyler Lozano has never collected 5 hits in a baseball game in his professional career. Could he here? 0-1. Lozano takes in for a ball. It's 1-1. Tyler Lozano, the Stockton native, repping the Central Valley. 25 years old, 2nd-year baller, the only returning hitter on this Ballers roster. 1-1, catcher set up inside. Lozano swings and taps it towards third, foul. 1-2. Tyler Best is also a returner technically because he played last year, but he has since been released by Oakland to make way for Luke Short. 1-2 pitch to Lozano. He taps it slowly to third, dually onto it, makes the throw to first in time, and Lozano has to settle for a not too shabby 4 for 5 night. Do have a new baller, by the way, just getting to it now because I forgot about it. His name, Tommy Ventimiglia. He's a pitcher, formerly of the Cleveland organization, 3 years in the Guardian system. And we'll talk about him more later this series. Swearing a bunt is Bugs. Did he offer? No. He pulled back. Looking to bunt for a hit there. It was not a pitch to bunt at. He's just 1 stolen base shy of tying the single season record. He's at 28. Austin Davis had 29 last year. 1-0 pitch to Bugsy. Swings and fouls it off to the right side out of play, 1-1. Darryl Buggs the second with 2 hits today. He's 2 for 3. With a run scored, an RBI on a sac fly, a stolen base, he's done it all. And of course, has played a solid defensive center. Catcher sets up inside. 1-1 from Bryan. Buggs rips it through the left side, base hit. And Darryl Buggs the second matches his career high. It's another 3-hit game for Darryl Buggs. His 3rd single, and let's see if he can get the record right here. This would be the spot to do it in the 9th to get into scoring position for Tremaine Cobb Jr. Austin Davis with 29 stolen bases in 2024. He would later play with the Rocky Mountain Vibes after a trade there from Oakland last year. But Buggs is at 28 of 31 attempts. Will he go on the first pitch? No. Cobb takes low, 1-0. 2 outs, 6-5, Ballers lead, top of the ninth. This isn't just history that he's going for. He's trying to get into scoring position if he tries to steal. He had 16 thefts in his last year at UAB. 1-0, he's going. Cobb shoots it, though, past James Harris. It's foul off to the right. Bugs really didn't have a ton of chances to run his first and third years at UAB. Only stole 2 bases those years. That did steal 6 bases in 22, but really broke out as a base runner as the everyday center fielder for the Blazers in 2024. He's stolen 7 bases against the Vibes this season. The 1-1 pitch from Bryant. Bugs runs again. Cobb takes high. The throw down, bounces in, and Bugs has the record. Then he takes off for third. He's in there safely. And an insurance run is just 90 feet away as Darryl Bugs II has tied Austin Davis with his 29th stolen base of the season. Now how about number 30 to steal home? It's also an error on Feliciano as Bugs steals his second of the game, then goes to third on that ball that just skittered into center. And a base hit here for Tremaine Cobb Jr. would extend the Oakland lead to 7-5 in the top of the ninth with 2 outs. Cobb is 2 for 5 in the game. Does not have a hit since the second inning. 2-1 from Bryant. Cobb takes low, 3-1. He's put himself in a plus count. He's driven in 37 this season. Not too shabby for a guy that's hit leadoff basically every game for these Oakland Ballers. This is game 66 for Cobb. Bugs at third base. 3-1 pitch from Bryant. Here it is. Cobb takes inside, strike 2. Count is full. Isai Santos is on deck. He had an RBI single, the go-ahead hit in the 7th. The Ballers have not scored since that knock. They have 18 hits today and just 6 runs to show for it. Payoff pitch with 2 outs from Bryant to Cobb. Here it is. It's swung on and laced up the middle. Base hit. Tremaine Cobb Jr. comes through. His 3rd hit of the night brings home Bugs. 7-5 Ballers lead in the 9th. A 2-out, 2-strike knock from Tremaine. His 13th 3-hit game of the year has given Oakland a 2-run lead in the 9th inning. And he just torched that baseball. My goodness. It was into center field in the blink of an eye. Past Bryan, the pitcher. Here's Isai Santos with 2 outs. First pitch, low and away, 1-0. Hunter Bryan, in his first action in a week, has now given up an earned run in back-to-back outings. 2-out singles from Bugs and Cobb. Now it's Santos. Ballers up 2 in the 9th, 2 outs. 4 on the timer. Pitch. Santos takes outside, 2-0. You can almost tell that something's not quite right with Bryan, with his body language on the mound. 10 saves on the year. It feels like maybe even just some struggles that Sully was dealing with lately, that maybe Bryan is just struggling. 2-0 outside to Santos, 3-0. Maybe it's not an injury. Maybe it's just a few bad outings that have gotten in his head, and now here's another one. As the Rocky Mountain closer surrenders an insurance run in the top of the 9th. 2 outs. Runner at first is Cobb. 3-0. Santos with a red light. And he takes ball 4 outside, his 2nd walk of the evening. So the Ballers get 2 on with 2 out for Christian Almanza. And the Rocky Mountain pitching coach heads out. I don't know if, do they have a pitching coach? My guess is it would just be Les Lancaster, because he was the pitching coach in Ogden for 2 seasons before coming to Rocky Mountain. Oh, wait. Duh. I have it in front of me. They don't have a pitching coach. They have Les Lancaster, and they have Bobby Chenard, who's the father of Vibes, well, I guess, backup catcher, one of their catching options, Austin Chenard. Chenard, who pitched for 5 seasons with Oakland, Bobby Chenard, starting in 1996. I think, though, yeah, I think that's him. I think that was Bobby Chenard who just went out, the bench coach for the Vibes, to talk to his reliever Hunter Bryan. And we're just making sure he's all right. So, Christian Almanza with 2 outs and 2 aboard. 2 hits today, including a double. First pitch here, low and away. That's 5 straight misses from Bryan. Ballers lead 7-5 in the top of the 9th. And a slow-moving game that has featured 30 hits and yet just 12 runs. Ballers lead 7-5 with 2 outs in the top of the 9th. Cobb and Santos are your runners. 7 on the timer. Bryan looks at second, comes home. Almanza takes a strike, 1-1. Almanza has not driven in a run in this game. He's been on a weird RBI drought. He still has 76 RBI, which is most on the team. Had a couple homers in the Yuba Sutter series, but didn't drive in many runs. He's hitting .330 on the season with runners in scoring position, and Cobb is at second here, Santos at first. 1-1 from Bryan. From the stretch, the righty fires. Almanza swings and taps it slowly. This is a tough play. Bryan picks it up. The pitcher with the underhand toss to first for out number 3 ends the top of the 9th. The Ballers get a run on a couple 2-out knocks as Darryl Buggs II gets into scoring position thanks to his 29th stolen base, tied for the franchise record for a single season. And then Oakland gets an insurance run from Tremaine Cobb Jr., who has his 13th 3-hit game of the season. Let's go to the bottom of the 9th. It's Sully time in Colorado Springs. Ballers 7, Vibes 5 on 860 AM The Answer. This is Oakland baseball. It's Sully time in Colorado Springs. Connor Sullivan comes on for his 15th save of the season. He's the league leader in saves, the Ballers franchise record holder with 16, including 14 this year. And Sully comes on in relief of Connor Richardson Chewy with an inning and a third of scoreless baseball. Sully pitched Sunday and picked up the save in the 8-5 win, but did give up a couple earned runs on 4 hits in the 8-5 win against the High Wheelers. That cannot be the case today. He's got to be clean. A 4.73 ERA this season for Connor Sullivan. This is his 33rd appearance, most on the team. He's 0-1 with 14 saves, 32 and a third innings, 13 walks, 38 Ks, and his first pitch is singled up the middle by Kellum Clark, who has a 2-hit game. He just pounced on a pitch that he could hit, and now the tying run will come to the plate and Sam Linscott here in the 9th inning. The Vibes, they have seen the best of Sully, and they've seen some of his struggles. Sully has made now 7 appearances against the Vibes, and his 6 prior appearances, 4 earned runs over 5 2/3, with all 4 coming on July 9th, in which he blew a 4-run lead in the 9th inning. His first pitch is bunted down the third base line, picked up by Allgaier on the bare hand. His throw to first is late. It's an infield hit. That's a beautiful bunt single by Sam Linscott. Bunts for a hit. Still nobody out in the bottom of the 9th inning. Next up, Dane Tofflin. Sully, it has to be said, also has 2 saves against the Vibes. A birthday save for Sully in a situation kind of like this one where things got a little hairy in the 9th inning. That was on July 4th in a 4-3 Ballers win. But can he get the save today? Now he has to face Dane Tofflin with 2 on and none out. Will he bunt here to get the tying run into scoring position? With nobody out, 7-5 Ballers lead, bottom of the 9th. First pitch to Tofflin. He squares, pulls back. There's a beautiful strike. Slider in there from Silly. 32 hits in the game. 7-5, though, is the score. Ballers lead the Vibes in the bottom of the ninth. 2 hits today for Tofflin, 2 for 4. The runners are Clark and Linscott. Will Tofflin square again? Silly's pitch. Tofflin swings and lifts it. Right field, medium deep. Santos is there, backing up. He's already dropped one today. He makes the catch. The runner tags from second. The throw is cut off. That runner doesn't matter. Linscott holds it first. Clark tags up to third on the fly out by Tofflin. Not an unproductive out, but still the Ballers could end the game on a double play ball. How likely is that? Well, Gary Laurie Gonzalez has grounded into 6 double plays this year. So it's not impossible. But it feels impossible at this point with Gary Laurie Gonzalez because he is 3 for 4 today with a double. Now the only bright spot is that last time he faced St. Pierre and St. Pierre struck him out. But he's still 3 for 4 in the game. Runners on the corners, winning run at the plate, tying run at first. Laurie Gonzalez takes a strike painted on the outside corner by Sullivan. It's 0-1. Vibes still have all 3 challenges. 7-5 Ballers lead. 1 out. Bottom of the 9th inning. Righty-righty battle. Open stance righty. Laurie Gonzalez waits. Sully delivers. And there's the ball. Swung on. Lifted. Shallow center field. Medium deep. Bugs makes the catch. The runner from third tags. No! He does not tag. He stays at third base. Interesting. 2 down. Ballers an out away from another win against Rocky Mountain. They've got to get through Kieber first. The shortstop is 0 for 4 today. Connor Sullivan is an out away from his 15th save. And an out away from giving St. Pierre his 14th career win as an Oakland Baller and 7th of the season. After an outstanding relief outing off the back of Luke Short. Runners on the corners for Kieber. 2 outs in the 9th, 7-5, Vibes trail. Pitch outside on the slider from Silly. It's 1-0. Connor Sullivan has really battled as the Ballers closer this season. He's been through ups and downs, especially recently. That is flown to right field. Santos is there, makes the catch on the run in right field for out number 3. Connor Sullivan locks down his 15th save of the year, stranding the winning run at the plate and the tying run at first. Ballers pull this one out by the skin of their teeth. 7-5 your final. Oakland improves to 12-1 against the Vibes this year and are a perfect 7-0 in Colorado Springs. That's 12 wins in a row for the Ballers for the 2nd time this season. Ballers win 7-5 in Colorado Springs. Let's step aside. Post-game show when you return on 860 AM. The Answer. That is an even dozen. The Ballers win 12 in a row for the second time this year. What? How is that even possible? Well, it is. The Ballers improved to 57-16. They're just one win shy of tying their total from last season, and they are now just within 12 games of tying the most wins in Pioneer League history, which is 69 by Missoula, and 13 wins shy of breaking that record. 13 wins shy of 70, which would be something spectacular. The Ballers now 10-0 in August. And I'm just listing off cool stats at this point. The Ballers, they play good baseball. I'm Nevada Cullen. Vince, great job as always on our radio side on 860 AM The Answer with that video recap or audio recap. And now, for those of you listening on YouTube, and if you want a little bit more less fun version of the version that the story that Vince puts together with that audio recap, let's run you through the action of the 7-5 Oakland win. Ballers victorious for the 12th time in a row here in Colorado Springs. They opened this series with a victory, and it was a contest that featured a lot of hits, but not a ton of runs. 32 combined hits for the two sides and only 12 runs to show for it. Oakland struck first with 3 singles in the first inning. Jake Allgaier had the RBI single to put Oakland up 1-0. Then in the top of the second, it was a sac fly by Darryl Buggs that made it 2-0. Oakland, as the Ballers had 3 more singles in that inning. Vibes put 4 up in the second. They got to Luke Short, knocking him out of the game. Well, he was already going to come out of the game after 2, but he couldn't complete the second inning. He ends up giving up 4 runs in his inning and a third of work. Joscar Feliciano had a 2-run single. Tristan Garcia, an RBI single. And Carter Booth, an RBI ground out. More from him later. That made it 4-2 Rocky Mountain. But then Oakland tied it finally in the top of the 5th. They had some 11 singles at this point. 11 singles at this point in the 5th inning, and they had 2 on in scoring position for Tyler Lozano. And what did he do? A 2-run double down the right field line. The first extra base hit of the game for Oakland, tied the game at 4. Tyler Lozano would finish with a 4-hit game, tying his career high. Awesome night from Tilo. Score tied at 4 in the top of the 6th inning. And Christian Almanza doubles. Then on a chaotic play at first, on an Allgaier fielder's choice, Almanza comes home, taking that extra 90. An important run that at the time put Oakland ahead 5-4. Rocky Mountain would tie it in the bottom of the 6th with an RBI double by Carter Booth. But then in the top of the 7th, Oakland grabbed the lead right back. Isai Santos with an RBI single to right field, put Oakland up 6-5, a lead they would not surrender. Funnily enough, that Santos single was his first hit of the game. He was the only Baller without a hit at that point in the contest. The Ballers would score another, an insurance run in the top of the 9th after Darryl Buggs swiped his 29th stolen base of the year, tied for a franchise record in a single season. Drain Cobb Jr. with his RBI single into center scored him to make it 7-5 Oakland. As for the pitching for the Ballers, St. Pierre 5 1/3. No runs earned, 1 run total, and he earns the win today. Chewy threw an inning and a third. No runs. And Sully gets the save. First 2 got on in the 9th inning. It was interesting. Clark and Linscott both singled, but then 3 straight flyouts for Sully. Got the job done. Not his typical way of getting the save, but he still picks up his 15th of the year. That is the league lead. And the Ballers win 7-5 here in Colorado Springs. This line score, let's go over that. Oakland 7 runs on 19 hits, 1 error. Rocky Mountain 5 runs on 13 hits, 1 error. Zach St. Pierre, the win, 7-3 now this season. Wyatt Tucker, the loss, he's 2-4. Connor Sullivan, his 15th save. He is the league leader. This game started at 6:35. That's 5:35 pack time. Total time of 3 hours and 3 minutes. Tuesday, August 12th, 78 degrees and sunny at first pitch. The Vibes fall to 12-13, just below 500 in the second half, 34-38 overall under Les Lancaster in his 3rd year. Aaron Miles in his 2nd year just keeps on winning. He's 87-31 as manager of the Ballers since taking over midway through last season. The Ballers now are 57-16 this season, 20-5 in the second half. They are first place in the second half. They are the best team in the Pioneer League, and they have won 12 consecutive games. Unbelievable. That does it for today's broadcast here from Colorado Springs, Colorado. Our final score, Ballers 7, Vibes 5, a final in 9 innings. Big thanks to those who helped make the broadcast possible, including Ballers co-founders Paul Friedman and Brian Carbell, Ballers assistant general manager Tyler Peterson, Brandon Colthurst, Isabella Haberman, Ben Verhoek, Mark Kahn, and back in our 860 AM The Answer Studios, that's Vince, a.k.a. Vince in the Bay on TikTok. Also, big thanks to you, the listener. We'll have more baseball coming up. Our coverage of Wednesday's Game 2 of the 6-game series will start at 5:30 pack time on 860 AM The Answer and on YouTube. We hope that you can join us. Again, our final score, Ballers 7, Vibes 5. Vibes 5? Why is that a tongue twister? Anyway, the Ballers have won 12 in a row for the second time this season. I'm Devada Cullen saying so long, and thanks for listening to Oakland Baseball on 860 AM The Answer.